All right, welcome back to the BFR Podcast presented by Sports Mockery. My name is Dave. Cover the Bears for SM. We are back for day two, round two of the NFL draft, and the first pick in round two is actually about to be announced. The Browns select Carson Schwessinger.
Interesting. That's the first
Linebacker.
pick, a linebacker. Interesting. Okay.
Off screen, we were like, hey, we got to go live here. We think Sanders might be picked, so he is still on the board. It is an interesting pick, but before we kind of get into that and what we are expecting for the Bears, obviously they hold picks 40 or 39 and 41, which is what, 8 picks away? Seven picks away now.
Pick 7 and pick 9.
It's really, I mean, this is where you want to see him grab, potentially 2 starters here. But before we get into a pick, how we feeling, man, about round 2? And also your, I guess, post, it hasn't even been 24 hours really since they selected Colston Loveland. And so have your feelings changed at all? And what are you expecting for round 2 here? What are you looking for?
Of course, I don't think I was sour on the pick, but we were kind of in shock, right? I think it said from the excitement and the people that were projected to us, like Colston Loveland wasn't on it. So from a fan experience, we're all like super excited for those 5 or 6 guys that we've been kind of building our hype and expectation towards. So when you don't get them, of course you're like, right? But when you start to hear everyone, like your analysts, start talking about it, people that you respect in the industry saying, this is the guy, you start to feel better about the pick. We talked about it yesterday on the show. He's a better route runner than Tyler Warren, a better run blocker than Tyler Warren. I think more separation, right? I think that's why he's more of an athlete compared to Tyler Warren. The question was more of like, well, you already have Cole Kmet there, so what does that do with implicating that? I think they're going to run 12 sets. I think Cole's going to be on the team. But to answer your question, I feel better. Not that I was feeling bad about it, but like the more I watched some of his film, highlights and things like that, learned more about him, even more about, his flaws, but the pros as well. I started to get a better understanding of the prospect in general. So I wish he would have been one of the guys that was, kind of on our radar like months ago, so we could have been doing this a little bit before, but we spent more of our time on Tyler Warren because every mock we saw had Tyler going to us. So I feel much better, and I'm also happy because we have 2 early picks here coming up, and we can find some true talent. You know who we took at pick 39? Kyler Gordon just got an extension. We took him at pick 39, right? So you can find players like that.
It reminds me of Brisker and Gordon when they took
Brisker and Gordon, JJ and Kmet. Right, that was kind of around the same spot
back in 2020,
right? And then
for me, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, and then for 41, and I want to know your thoughts on this. And then for 41, we're looking for a running back, but 41's hit on people like Dalvin Cook. You've had why can't I think of his name? Taylor from the Colts because of the J. And Taylor. People like Kenneth Walker, running back out of Seattle, who's really good. Like all in all is to say that we can find some real good talent with these 2 picks. Like how you started off the show, you can find some real starters here. So I'm excited about that. But Dave, how are you feeling? What's your thoughts after the pick? How are you feeling about moving into the second round and with the picks we have?
No, overall, I feel great. I was excited about the pick with Colston Loveland at the time. Obviously, everyone was a little shocked just because no one really knew what the Bears were going to do and how the board fell with 3 tackles going in the top 9. Ryan Poles talked about, they played this scenario out and quite a few times where those tackles are gone. So I'm curious to see in a few weeks here, whenever it unfolds, what their board was looking like, who they really were targeting. But for me, overall, I love Loveland. I've obviously, we didn't talk a lot about him. There has been, I think, just national praise across the board, though. That's what I love to see. When it comes to pick, you hate your team getting clowned of course, on the draft or even in free agency, right? Overpay or reach. I think there's been a little bit of that, but mainly, I think mostly it's been trolls because I think most media guys, most national analysts, guys that are really good at the draft, good at, just film or whatever it is, and then even players like Nick Saban, high praise for Loveland, saying he's the best receiving tight end in this draft. You've had other, comments talking about he might be the best receiver taken in the first round because of his ball skills, right? As far as what he brings to the table and what Ben Johnson can be able to do. So overall, I'm super ecstatic. I'm even more excited about the Loveland pick than I was going to bed last night, which was really hard to do because I was just excited. Wanted to kind of dig into what 12 personnel, what it's going to look like, of course. So he met with the media today. Really, really awesome kid. So he's huge, dude. He's 6'6".
6'6".
You just walk around Hallis Hall and you just see how big this guy is. So I'm super stoked to see what the Bears do here. However, I know the early picks, how I really feel like these are, because you talk about Kyler Gordon, Brisker, Kmet, Jalen Johnson, right? All pro corner. You're going to be able to get impact guys day one, right? And then you hope they turn into a Jalen Johnson or even a Cole Kmet, who obviously got extended. So I am super, super stoked, almost more so about round 2 than I am about even round 1 and what they were going to do with the 10th pick that we know it's Loveland.
I don't know why this happened, but while you're talking, I was like, what other second round players? I feel like there's some like big names.
Shoulder.
Oh, you got something on it. I was like, who are some other second rounders, like big names? I know there's a couple. And I was like, oh, Charles Tillman, second rounder. Matt Forte, second rounder. Devin Hester, second rounder, right? So that just tells you that you can easily find great talent in the second round, because a lot of times what happens is people that fall into the second round may have had a first round grade, but there were some certain things that happened where they had slipped. For example, Jalen Johnson. Jalen Johnson was probably a first round grade coming out of Utah, but he had the shoulder injury concerns, so he started to slip. You see that a lot of time with the injuries. A good example of that right now is Will Johnson from Michigan, who, if he didn't have the injuries he had this year, easily a top 10 pick. Easily. Did not go in the first round. So drafting someone like him, not saying necessarily for the Bears, but like you can find talent like that where some guys may have slipped, maybe some character issues, right? Or a team took a reach in the first, which obviously pushes people back. All in all, to say the second round has plenty of people in there that can make a day one impact. And it's great that we have 2 picks within the top 10. So I'm excited.
Honestly, JJ, I remember that draft so vividly when it came to Kmet and Jalen Johnson, because we were so excited, similar to like Tevin Jenkins, but even more so with Jalen, because he was projected as a first rounder. And I think even Tevin Jenkins was projected as a late first rounder. So
he went 39 too. I think he was exactly 39. So
and you can find talent. I know he didn't sign he didn't get a second contract with Chicago, but that's just more so about injuries and, his availability.
Talent was worth it.
So, but the talent's there. So those are the guys that, I mean, you could just, you hit on these, man, especially right now where this offense, where this roster is, if you hit on these 2 picks, especially, and of course, Loveland, you need him to play. I know he talked about he's in 3 months in, 3 months of his shoulder. It's a 6-month recovery for that shoulder surgery he had 3 months ago. So he's 3 months in, 3 months to go. He should be ready for training camp at least. And so you expect him. What?
Sorry, news came in. So this was kind of the top of our board. So the Seahawks traded up to pick 35. And they took Nick Emanwari.
Are you on Twitter?
Sorry, I just got a notification that popped up on. I had to mute my shit. Okay, but yeah, it actually came up on accident.
No, it's fine. Yeah, no, I'm still. Yeah, I'm interested to see what. I know people like.
I had a lot of people had him mocked to us, so that's why that's the only reason why I want to stop.
Okay, first of all, I want to say this right now. Mocks I know they're fun, but nobody knows what the fuck they're talking about.
No,
nobody, man.
Never.
I hate it. Oh, he was mocked to us. Get out.
You never know.
I can't stand it. I really can't stand it.
Because barely any mocks had us going with Colston. And you know what's funny? Because I look at it every year. I like looking at like the accuracy. There's this database website that basically collects all of the mocks ever submitted from low level people, right, to like the top media people. And like the winner every year is like low 30% on accuracy just for the first round. So that tells you, right, the best of the best still only gets about 10 picks correct, right?
And it's all luck. It's just luck. There's just no way. I mean, anyways.
Yeah. So it is fun though, because it's just a crapshoot. But yes.
So there's Travion Henderson's very interesting, Nick Scorton and everything. We'll get into those names in a minute as we have a couple picks. But like I said, if they hit on these 2 picks and Loveland, you have, the very cost effective and they have a potential to be an all-pro player like Jalen Johnson. All these, and that's just recent. You can go through the history books of second-round picks. That is, I feel like, where the money is made, where the rosters are built, like those Super Bowl rosters are built, where you hit on those picks. So Kyler Gordon just got an extension. He's the highest paid nickel. I'm very, 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 very excited, and I have a lot of confidence in what Ryan Poles can do. And I know Pace was Kmet and Johnson, but at the same time, Poles extended him or made sure that they were here, kept Jalen Johnson here, even though there was discussions about him potentially, I think he requested a trade. So all in all, this is a big day. This is a bigger day than almost yesterday, especially because it's 39 and 41.
I think you made the statement, summed it up perfectly. This is where championship teams are made. Look, you get the Hall of Famers in the first round, not all the time, right? But like that's where you're hoping to strike gold. But where you fill out the rest of the roster with like depth pieces and quality starters, that's your second and third round. And then 4 through 7, you're hoping, that's more of a crapshoot. You get your Bo Jacks, your Tyreek Cohens, right? That's a little bit harder to grade, but that's what they always talk about it. Like these draft analysts always like the top 150. Why is that? Because that's your first 4 weights in 32. That's your first 5 rounds, right? And really it's that top 100 which you care about, because that's your first 3 rounds. And we have 3 picks within the top 50, right? So yes, it's exactly right, Dave. Like if this is a lottery ticket, right? The first round is the jackpot. You hit on that, you win millions, right? Second round, you're dealing with 100,000, 200,000. That's still money to the bank. So if you can hit on those, it's good. And obviously, the later you go, the pot would go down. But in that analogy, like the first and second round, those first 50 to 60 picks, you still have a chance to scratch off and win big money. And that's going to lead to your team holding up the Lombardi when it comes February, right? And so if we can get it, if we can get 3 of these or even 2 out of 3, right? I would take that. That's going to be significant addition to this team.
I agree. I'm excited. We're getting really close. So this is pick 36 for the Browns here.
It's flying way faster than last night. That's for sure.
Also, I forgot to mention, got my new hat. I know if you follow me on Twitter, posted about this one. I thought about getting it. Finally got it. Took a little bit to ship here.
Time out. Sorry.
What is
Browns? Browns just took Quinton Junkins, Ohio State.
Oh yeah, running back.
Yeah, so I didn't want to cut. Those are 2 of the people that we were expecting to get. So 35 and 36. Mockery that most people wanted us, and then Judkins.
Who was mocking these guys to us?
I saw a couple of analysts. Some people had not like they were saying it was a good fit. Not like
okay.
Yeah, they were saying like I could expect Nick Mockery to fit well into our defense. I think oh my gosh.
Yeah, I like Judkins. What I would have liked him. Okay, I'll leave it there, but I almost want there's a couple different options here.
Yeah, no, there's still plenty of people to choose from. You can still do a Trayvon Henderson if you want to go running back here, right? There's options. There's definitely options. So it's just interesting back to back. That's how the draft is, right? And who knows? They may not even been on the Bears board. This is just from our expectations over here on the side. But
yeah,
good for them. Question though is, when is Shedeur going to go? Is he going to go to Las Vegas? Who's next? I heard some talk. I think Jordan Schultz said could go there. I can't believe he fell the first round, man. That's crazy.
No, I almost think it's unacceptable. Like not that he's owed anything, but I'm just shocked that he didn't go in the first, especially late, like in the mid-20s. I'm the Steelers passing on him was borderline pretty shocking as well. Mm-hmm. I'm really interested to see where he goes too. There's no way he falls out of the second round, right?
You would think not, right? I mean,
man, I don't know.
I mean, there's crazier stuff that's happened, but
yeah,
that would be a big drop. That'd probably be the biggest drop I've ever seen
from potential.
We've seen, from what top 10 pick, like pick 9 is probably the highest. Well, depending when you asked, at one point he was top 3, but to go to pick 9 to drop all the way out of like 32 plus picks of a drop. Like, did this dude kill someone? Well, like, what happened? Like, this is some dirt that we don't know.
It makes you really. I'm curious to see where he goes. I really am. And release, I guess, the interview. I want to know what went on. What's going on here.
Right, because it just doesn't. It doesn't make
Trayvon
sense.
Henderson.
Oh, he just went?
No, I think he's a potential.
Oh yeah, for sure.
reminds me of Swift a little bit though. So
we want
we'll
two
see.
of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who knows? Up another trade. Dolphins are trading to pick 37 with Las Vegas, who I thought was going to take Shedeur. So that's not happening. I doubt they're taking Shedeur. No, right? Not with Tua.
Way.
Interesting. Oh, here, question for you.
Yeah.
I think I tweeted about this. So the Panthers trade could be fully completed. The initial trade, right? The big.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah.
Right. It could be completed today. What's the likelihood that our first pick, because we have 41, it's not far behind, we trade back and that trade continues on?
No. I think that it would be funny, and just to keep that tradition, keep it going for another year would be fun. However, I really want to see these guys just take. I just want them to hit on 39-41. I want them to take BPA.
I agree.
Well, not BPA, but you know what I'm talking about as far as fit, but also best player variable, if that makes sense. Where it's like, I don't want to, obviously can't take another tight end or something like that, but like take the best player available that can help your roster. And they have the ability to basically do it back to back early on in the top 10, top 11.
You know, this is, I wouldn't, if they decide to trade one of them, I wouldn't be upset if it's only like a couple picks back. Like if you go I keep 31, draft what you need, and the 41 you drop to like 45 or something like that. I'm okay with that. But okay, so let's see. So Miami traded up to 37, and they gave up their 3rd and 4th this year, but then got a 5th back. I wonder who they're trading up for then. Interesting.
It's a lot.
Yeah, it is. It's always funny because we don't have the context of like why they had to jump in front, like what teams were trying to take their player or who they thought was going to take it. You never know.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, here we go.
Let's see. Oh, they took the tackle, Jonasiah Savia. Some people had him going.
You tackle or guard?
I think he's a tackle, but he's going to guard. I thought he played tackle at Arizona. They're showing guard though, but
maybe his versatile. Inside outside versatility. There you go.
I thought he played right tackle. Yeah, but he's probably has the body. He probably
did play
guard.
He did play right tackle.
Yep. So some people had he was on our list because if you're going to get a replacement for Braxton Jones, but I didn't know he was expected to play guard. So
yeah,
I'm telling you,
that's a lot to move up for him. I like it though,
for sure. You're starting to
reminds me of it kind of reminds me of like Tevin Jenkins, taking him. I think Jenkins was 39.
He was a right tackle too.
He had very similar
build.
I don't know. I don't know the game really. I didn't really study him too much.
So we have 2 in the next 4. So we're coming up here. Yeah, I know, right?
We're cooking here in a minute.
Look, one takeaway I've seen from this draft, O-linemen. I think the NFL starting to, not that it wasn't that O-linemen aren't important, but I think that the good O-linemen are so hard to come by. You mentioned it to start the show. 3 tackles taken in the top 10, right? I think there was 5 tackles or maybe 6 tackles taking in the first round, right? And you have another tackle guard, whatever. I'm putting him in the same.
Yeah.
Well, no, because if you're talking offensive lineman, you had Tyler Booker go. You had Gray Zabel. You had Josh Simmons. You had Donovan Jackson. And then you had Josh Connerly. You had Amon Membu, Will Campbell. That's 7, right? Am I missing someone? 7 in the first. That's literally a 5th of the picks. We're to offensive linemen. And then now you're seeing it to start off the second.
It's a premium. It's hard to find, man. And they're so important and so valuable. And when you have a good one, you never let it go.
That's true. That is true. Look at all the they play on one team forever. You think
I'm interested.
Things like that.
Wiggy, who's very interesting? Will Johnson. I know his medicals are probably scaring a lot of teams right now, but
I'd take him.
He's insane. I had him potentially. I know it would be a reach at 10, but I had him late first round. As far as like a trade back, possibly. I know we don't need a corner, but I've heard nothing but good things.
He was high. He was top 10 like 2 weeks ago. Most people had him in the top 10. So I wonder what his injury concerns are, but think about this. We have 2 picks, right?
Yeah.
So we do have the luxury of, I don't say like, it's not really a risk, but like, because you have a pick following after that, that's also right near it. You could take like for sure someone that you're like, oh, solidified, we want this. And then we could take a flyer on Will Johnson. So I technically wouldn't be mad about that. I still have faith in Tyreek Stevenson, but obviously he didn't do enough last year, especially the back half, to like, prove his worth. And then also from a mental standpoint, he had a bunch of fuck ups last year that did not do well. Now, new regime, new coaching staff, clean slate. He gets to start new. But yeah, we could always take an upgrade there. It's not like that CB2 is, certified locked in.
Yeah.
And he's talented. So Will Johnson's talent's there. So
here we go. I'm excited, though. I'm excited what they do. New England's picking right now. I love their pick with Will Campbell. What an awesome quote he had, too, about, and they asked him, how you feel about protecting Drake May. And he's basically like, I'm going to die for him.
Doing it,
before he gets sacked, essentially. Yeah. What an awesome pick. I really was hoping he would slip, but it makes sense. He goes top 4. So
did you see the Tyler Booker's quote too? He's like, people love to play football until they face me. I'm like, this is what you want out of your offensive lineman. Just like pure hatred.
You got to remember, Will Campbell also protected Jaden Daniels too.
He did.
Yeah. So, I mean, I remember JD had nothing but good things to say about him. So
also
I would have loved him.
Will Campbell did start as a rookie. Like he came in as a rookie right off the jump, or not rookie. Yeah, freshman. Sorry, rookie is not the right term. As a freshman and played 3 years. That's hard to do. Offensive line come right in there. Also for a winning organization like that. So shout out to him. I know that was your crush for sure.
Oh,
I mean, he'd have been great. I'd have been happy about it for sure. All right, here we go. Looks like Patriots got the pick in. So we're right. So that means we'll be on the clock here soon.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So many people there. It's wild. Like over 100,000. I mean, every year the NFL, look, they're doing fine from a business standpoint. They keep making this thing bigger and better every year. I'm not even mad about it. Because I honestly like the Super Bowl is awesome. I do love the Super Bowl, but we're never in it. Some kind of like, whatever. This, every team is participating. Oh, Will Johnson just went, didn't he?
I'm not going to say.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I just actually saw it though.
No, it's okay. So. It's okay. You can if you want. It's not our pick, so it's all right. But yeah, this is kind of gives me like the same excitement as the Super Bowl. And it's like that for everybody because every team gets to participate instead of just 2 teams. So
it's true. Here comes the pick.
They need offensive line help, so I wouldn't be surprised if they went OL here too. Back to back, but who fucking knows? They need so much help. Obviously, that's why they picked 4th.
Yeah, but I doubt. Anyway, just let me know what you think here.
I gotta wait for him to do it. Let's see.
Seth Rollins is going to announce the Bears pick. He's a wrestler.
I'm sure WWE. Yeah. Did he say which one? 39 or 41? Or is he doing both?
39, I think.
Okay. That's cool.
But I don't have that. That's not confirmed just off the top.
Well, look, it looks like people are pissed because Juicy Jake on YouTube said Pats are so annoying.
Yeah, they've done it twice now, man.
It's got to be Henderson then, right? It's got to be.
You're right.
Okay.
Nailed it.
Damn. Right before us. You know what, though?
Not that I don't even know if Chicago would have picked him.
I feel like if they would have traded up, right? You think?
That's what I'm saying, man. I am very, very shocked here. I think they're higher on Swift and maybe even Roshan Johnson than I think anybody else.
It's not like Swift's bad.
I think Swift is awesome.
Yeah, his vision. Like he's a little.
I think his vision's underrated.
I think sometimes he dances. I think he dances a little bit too much. If he just like hits it, he's good. Because he's got,
but
he can.
He also couldn't trust those guys in front of him last year for the most part. But there was times where we had a drought of like 3 and out, seeing Torrey Taylor come out multiple times in a row.
He'd be our only.
And then out of nowhere, he would just score a 40-yard touchdown run, right? Or pass or something or screen. He was just electric when we needed him at times. And
I won't argue that at all. He was definitely that. He 100% was
Yeah.
that. That man was electric.
But I did like Trayvon Henderson. I think he was a very, very, very solid pick for New England. I would have liked maybe Chicago to take him, but that would almost feel weird too, taking a tight end with your first second, not a premium position.
And then a running back, yet not a premium position.
Like, you almost get somebody,
even though you already have
get somebody in the third at this point.
Yeah, I mean, look, if they hit, it doesn't matter, right? But yeah, on paper, that's not a good look. You basically got your tight end 2 and your running back 2. You know what I mean? Like, who's your actual starter? You know, the head of it. So it'll be interesting to see what they do here.
Here we go. I don't know yet, though.
You know what I'm saying?
And for those wondering, which I know there's not a lot of you, Jack will not be on the show.
He couldn't take it. He after finding out we took a tight end, he's like, dude, I can't.
He said, I can't do a live stream again, boys. No, I think he's out of pocket tonight. We'll miss him.
Surprised he's alive after the weeks he's had. Jeez. That man could barely talk yesterday. I was like, gee.
Yeah.
So here we got Manny saying, what the hell is Poles doing? Let everyone take the best running backs in the draft. Look, we don't know. First of all, we don't know who the best of anything is yet. None of these teams do. And we won't.
There's been a run. There has been a run, though. I will say that.
Well, you just say Travion just went, and you had, you know who's still up there? You could do Caleb Johnson.
Yeah. I don't know if I want him.
From Iowa. Uh-oh.
No.
Wait.
Okay, no. That was just our group chat. That was just our group chat being like saying who they wanted. I thought they took.
Okay.
They said Mike Green, and that's where I was like,
bro,
I just don't think he would do it.
That's the one I talked about. I tweeted about today, and we've talked about it ad nauseum on this podcast.
I would stay out of that shit. I'll be honest, because no, if he would have went in the first, I understand, makes sense. But now that
he's falling,
nobody is taking him. It makes we don't have information, but it feels like something you should not touch.
He's fallen for a reason, is basically what you're saying. There's enough information out there that these teams have that they've decided, no. I don't think we would take him. Skill-wise, he's there, but that would be uncharacteristic of what we've seen from Ryan Poles for sure. That'd be the first move out of all the moves he's ever made where I'm like, wow. So, but look, Will Johnson, Mike Green, do you go Ezeruku from Boston College, the edge? Excuse me. A lot of people have high praise for him. I doubt we take Burden. He's a wide receiver. Could do Trey Amos. Interesting. Nick Scorton, like we've talked about, he's still on there. There's a lot of good options here. Pick is in.
The pick is in, though. Oh, my God. Ben Johnson, bro. Holy shit.
Oh, look at it, Antoine Randall, man. He's ripped, just hugging Poles. It's an IU boy right there. New wide receivers coach, for those who don't know.
Wow.
All right. Wow. No, he's not announcing it at 39. This is someone.
Okay.
Oh, this is the wide receiver from the 90s or 2000s. What's his name? Davis? Let's see. He just told the Packers fans to simmer down. That's hilarious. Wow. Oh, he said the 2025 NFC North champions. Luther Burden?
Dude.
Yo.
That's what I was saying, bro.
No.
Ben Johnson is going. He is going.
No way.
This is a diabolical pick, man.
You
this
are
Bears
kidding.
offense is going to be ridiculous. They're going to try to score 40 a game. They're going to score. That's all I gotta say.
Oh my God.
What a pick.
What a pick, bro. That is just, oh my gosh.
That's one of the craziest. I cannot believe it. Wow.
Wow. That's crazy. That is crazy.
One of the craziest things I've ever.
What? Okay, look. Wow. Both of these picks. You'd be lying to me if you told me these were on your radar. You would be fucking lying to me if you told me. No way.
They're going best player available, dude.
They have
to. That's the only thing. But wow.
Wow.
I just got to say, in Ben Johnson, I trust. And I just love that you are seeing the Bears culture and franchise just change over this offseason. It has been offense for the most part. Grady Jarrett's awesome. Dio Obingo is good. I don't know if I said that name right.
No, you did. You did. Obingo.
I love the how focused and how, I mean, they are violently attacking the offensive side of the ball. They are taking advantage of Caleb Williams on this rookie contract, and they're adding playmakers, dude. This is crazy. This is crazy. I cannot believe it.
No, that is.
And we're about to be picking again, dude.
That is
Caleb Williams,
wild.
DJ Moore, Roma Dunze, and now you're just adding all these. This is fucking crazy. Wow. Diabolical is right, man. I love it. Score more than other teams.
Yes.
And you still have the thing is the defense is still really fucking good. Go get Will Johnson go get Will Johnson right now, bro. I don't know what. That's a premium corner. Wide receiver's a premium as well. I just cannot believe what they're doing. Ben Johnson wow.
That's crazy, dog. Like, I'm in shock still. What?
I love it. I love it. Oh.
That is, oh man.
Oh man.
I'm sorry. I'm kind of speechless because I'm like, what? That is, I literally 2 seconds before the pick, or like a minute before, I said, well, there's Luther Burden, but we're not taking him.
Yeah.
Crazy,
bro.
Man.
Oh, I love it, dude.
Man, in the chat, let us know what you guys think of this. Grade this pick. This pick of Luther Burden. And if you're excited, hit the like button.
Yeah,
if you're
like
excited about the pick.
Because that is unbelievable.
Yeah, we got a lot of people saying they love it. It's a great pick. Big smile here.
He is so good. He is so good. Oh my Lord.
Oh, we do have some haters, which is fine. You can not like the pick. Josh here on Twitter said F. We've got a C here.
You got to get used to it. This is the new Bears. The Bears are offense. And it's fucking weird to say. They're going offense.
Yeah, are we an offensive oriented team now? Well, our head coach is, so I would assume so. This is a wild comment. I love it. I just fickied all over myself. Eduardo, we may need to put you in timeout for that one. That is crazy. Yeah, people are loving this though. A's across the board. Yep. It's gonna be a crazy.
Oh man, what a pick. Oh man.
That's crazy. I'm glad I got to see that one live. Thank you. Oh man. Oh my goodness, man.
That's a big one. I'm excited now to see what they do. They can't go offense again. Maybe 10. I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do, man. This is
can
crazy.
they not? Can they not? You would think not, right?
I hope they do. No, I'm just kidding. I would like to maybe see defense here. I know that's
we need. Can we go edge? Can we go edge? Right.
I would like an edge rusher here.
Or if you go
get
offense,
a premium
I'm cool
edge.
O-line. I'm cool with O-line. That's the only thing on offense I'd be okay with. No weapons, please. We're good.
What in the hell, dude? This is crazy.
Crazy.
LB3 is his nickname. I like that.
Woo, man, I'm running hot now. This is great. This is fantastic.
I love it. Bears pass catchers. I'm trying to see who they have right now. Good Lord.
It's wild. Man, I'm trying to think who we'd get now.
This is crazy. I don't know. I'm just gonna wait and see because I'm not gonna predict nothing now. I just want to see.
I'm over 2. So.
I will say this: Tyler Scott. See ya.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, but yep, that is.
I don't see him. I don't see a spot on this roster for him.
Unless he's special teams, but he'll still be on. Well, no, he could get cut.
I think so. Yeah. I don't know. I just think it's not very good for him.
You're wide receiver.
Adding 2 pass catchers.
Yeah, you're wide receiver 4 now. Wide receiver 4, weapon 6.
Yeah.
So, okay, we could. I mean, look. Oh, did we? Oh, we traded.
They traded.
I did say this might happen, Dave. I was like, I'd be okay if they trade 41.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, whoa. So the Bills trade 56, 62, 109 for 41, 72.
Wow, so we got. Oh, but we got 2 seconds still. 56 and 61. That's pick 31 in the second.
Bears get 56 and 62 and 109.
Okay, so that means we get 2 seconds. So we're in the back half of the draft now, which means this is going to be a long show, Dave.
I don't know. I don't know, man.
It's the back half of the second round. We'll see, but that's pretty far back. It's pretty far back. Here it is. That's crazy.
Wow. So, yeah.
What was that? Pick 41?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Well, who do they trade up for, you think?
It's not saying yet. I'm very, very interested, though.
No, I'm saying, though, like, who is the high value there? Who are they trying to get in front of to get that pick?
I don't know if I like the trade. It's a solid trade. I just wanted to get another playmaker.
It's not going to be as exciting, but we talked about it, Dave, right? The top 100 picks are huge. You just got yourself an extra top 100 pick.
Yeah.
Actually, you got yourself an extra top 60 pick.
I bet it's because of how those running backs. I think it's just how that board fell in the first few picks above them.
Yeah, to be honest, yeah.
I don't see it. I didn't think they would trade up. Excuse me. I like it though. I like it.
Let's see what happens. I want to see what it was for. Will Johnson, maybe? That would make sense. You know what I mean?
Possible, yeah. Yeah.
That might be the only one because he's still falling.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if Seth Rollins will do that later pick then.
Yeah. Yeah. Seth Rollins probably like
he's sitting back there. What the fuck?
he was ready to go. Oh man.
Oh man, sorry y'all.
Dude.
We're kind of
Roma Dunze he quoted it on his Instagram and he's like basically like, yes sir. Oh, that's pretty cool.
Oh, for Luther? Yeah.
Yeah, Roma Dunze responding. Yeah, he responded. That's pretty cool.
Man, talk about weapons. You know what's funny? That's just crazy. There's just so many people. Hopefully everyone can get enough of the ball, you know, or maybe that's not a problem. We don't need to force feed anyone, you know?
Yeah. Caleb has an embarrassment of riches right now, dude. This is awesome for him.
If he can't do it with this, he's not the guy. Sorry, if he can't do it with the weapons he has now, he has no excuses. Offensive line is fixed, right? Maybe not perfect, but it's fixed. You got even more weapons, bro. It's all on you now. You got to deliver. All right, the Bills are going with TJ Sanders. Defensive tackle. I saw a lot of people having him go first round. Okay. All right, that's what the trade was for. That's not bad. So they must have said they're bored. There wasn't the board didn't fall in the way they want after that. So I'm okay with that. It's all right. It's not the end of the world. As long as you get your guy that you need to, that's like all that matters. So, all right. Well, grade. I don't think we talked about it, Dave, but let's grade the Luther Burden pick. Like,
no, it's an A. I'm just gonna give it an A. I mean, these guys haven't played a snap, but at the same time, it's offense. It's Ben Johnson. Trust what he can do, what he wants to do, and his vision. So I'm giving it an A. I know it's way too early, but that's how I feel.
I probably go A-. I'll go A- just because the talent is definitely there. A lot of people had Luther going in the first, so like obviously enough people have thought this guy is talented enough to be in the first. Mm-hmm. Was it necessarily a need? No. So I'll just dock it a little bit. But if it turns out, then I don't give a shit. Like whatever. Like I don't care if it was a need or not. If he ends up being a baller, great pick. Again, it is so binary with me with these picks. I'm like, if the player is good or not, that's all that matters. I don't care if you had two good defensive ends and then you draft another defensive end and that defensive end is good. You now have three good defensive ends. So you can never have too much talent. I don't care what the position is, except quarterback. Yeah. That's the only one where I'd be like, well, you're probably only going to have one quarterback, right? You only need one of those. But every other position, I'm like, players go down, you need players to fill in. Everyone doesn't play 100% of the snaps, right? So having great players across the board is important.
So there was I agree. I want to, this is such a cool little story here. I went and checked his Instagram, Luther Burden, because he did slip out of the first round. Maybe he goes late in the first, who knows? However, right after the draft ended, he posted a picture. He was at the Missouri, or was it Mizzou? Yeah, Missouri's training facility.
Their practice field.
Yep. And got some work in, and then he said he quoted said, I'm gonna show everyone
for letting me drop. Yeah, for not making it.
I like that a lot. That's a really cool little nugget there. I'm trying to figure out where he was projected. I see some late first for a couple here, a lot of second round.
I saw a lot in the past 2 weeks, had him anywhere from 15 to the end of the first, like for first round, basically back half. 15 on, a lot of people had him there. He could fall anywhere in there. So him falling out, I think, was a surprise because I saw him consistently either late teens or anywhere in the 20s. So, enough people think he's talented enough to fall there, right? So
I love it, dude. I can't wait to hear what Ben Johnson, Ryan Poles have to say about this one. What they saw, what they envision him kind of being in this offense. He has no pressure to really produce right away, which I love for young wide receivers, kind of allow them some time to adjust. However, I think he's a playmaker. I think he's going to benefit from, having so many guys ahead of him on the depth chart, but he's a weapon. You can't ignore him. Could he be a returner? I don't even know if he's returned. I think, let me see here. Has he done a, I don't even know. Oh man.
Definitely. No, I think it's a good pick for sure. Crazy. And then they traded out of the other one. That's wild. I mean, do you think they go running back at 41?
No.
Not 41, sorry.
No.
50,
I don't
56?
All depends, man. I hope they go edge, but I don't think they're going to go. Let me see here. I see a quote here. The Bears did something.
Yeah, is there anything from the Bears team or any other? I'm trying to get some analysts. Trying to see if there's some people's review.
I don't know. I'm shocked. I'm a little sad. I will say this, that they did. I wish they would have kept it and just maybe. I don't know what they. I don't know who they would have went, or I don't know. I just wish they maybe went edge, but who's available really that you'd be comfortable with? I guess giving up that. I don't know. I'm excited though, man. This is such a new era for Bears football.
And this is what the draft's all about, man. All picks like this.
I did not expect them to go offense, let alone wide receiver, man.
Mason Taylor. Okay, so third tight end. Man, we're seeing a lot of tight ends go. The Jets take him. People thought Tyler they were going to take Tyler Warren, the Jets, so they ended up taking Mason Taylor. So they waited for the second round to get their tight end.
Yeah, a lot of them had to mock to with Tyler Warren.
Yep, Tyler Warren, but they end up going with Membu, which I think Membu was the right move. That was if he'd have fell to the Bears, that'd been a good pick too. Man, that's what makes it so fun about the draft, man. There's always tons of chaos and picks you don't expect. People fall, people reach, I should say. We don't know how good these players are going to be, but on paper, based off where they were, kind of where their consensus top ranking was. Oh, Mason Taylor, I forgot. That's Jason's son. Hall of Famer Jason Taylor.
Yeah, I didn't know that, actually.
Joy Taylor's son. I mean, Joy Taylor's nephew. Because Joy Taylor on Joy Taylor on FS1 is Jason Taylor's sister. A lot of people don't know that.
No, I did not.
So the family's all in the biz, which makes sense. Crazy, bro. That's how now I'm getting old. I used to grow up watching Jason Taylor, bro. Like back when I was like in my early teens, and now he's got a kid being drafted in the NFL. Jesus.
Oh man, I wish I want to hear. I wish we had Jack on the show to kind of see his thoughts on this one.
I feel like he would have liked this one.
I do too. I think he would have loved it. Well, we'll get him on the next show, of course.
Yeah.
Interesting. Very, very interesting. Now that deal with Carolina now is done. And Luther Burden was the final pick in it,
that's
right?
The final one. Yep.
Hell of a
sealed the deal. Wow. Hell of a haul. I had to build a statue just for polls on that trade alone. Honestly, that's where a lot of the positivity will pull still. Like, even when things don't go right, you're like, well, shit, he had one of the greatest trades in NFL history, right?
Yeah, this is it. Oh, man. I'm trying to see what else. So we have pick 56 and 62, which are a little ways away, but they're coming.
Well, look, this comment's so true. Bears fan for life said Poles was right when he said this draft would be crazy. Not wrong there. Jay Goat on Twitter said, "Are we cooking?" Yes, we are. I would say so.
We're going to be scoring. That's for damn sure.
Jay Goat again said we need Caleb Johnson ASAP. Look, you could probably get him at maybe not. I bet you know what? The Cowboys are up. They need running back help bad. I bet you they might take Caleb Johnson right here. People were surprised they didn't go with Amari and Hampton at 12, but they need offensive line help. So getting the best guard in the draft with Tyler Booker was definitely the right move, in my opinion. But I can see them taking a running back here and Caleb Johnson. So I want to see Daniel Jeremiah's top remaining picks, like people left on the board. You know what? You know who hasn't gone still? Will Johnson. Will Johnson.
I'm telling you, those medicals I think are scary. I don't think Mike Green's gone either.
Well, yeah, his off the field stuff is definitely scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I need to see what the draft results. Round 2, 2025.
I cannot believe what they just. Oh, Ben Johnson, bro. He is.
Bro, we forgot to talk about because our pick was so crazy. Tyler, I think it's Shaw. I always mess it up. He went before Sanders. The Saints ended up taking him right after us at 40. Tyler Shaw, the quarterback out of Louisville.
Yeah. He went before Sanders. Bro, that's crazy. Maybe that just tells you the NFL just is not high on him whatsoever.
Tyler Shaw, though, and the funny thing is, people didn't start talking about him till like the last 2 weeks. Like, I knew about Jackson Dart playing with Lane Kiffin, Ole Miss. Like, I knew about Jackson Dart. But Tyler kind of came out of nowhere for people that weren't like deep into it, right? And then he goes before Shedeur Sanders, who finished 8 in the Heisman watch. This is when we started the show. I'm just like, what?
The NFL, they draft good players. They draft great players, right? If Sanders is a good player, a great player, he's going to get drafted by someone. I don't understand.
He's going to get drafted. He's going to get drafted. There's no way he.
Shao or
Shao? I don't even know. That's my point.
When is he getting drafted, bro? If he's not getting,
he's gonna. He won't fall. He won't fall to the 4th. If he doesn't get picked up in the 2nd, he get picked up in the 3rd.
Wow,
that's crazy. You know who had a drop like that though? Kind of wasn't expected to go 1st round, but got picked in I think the 4th round. Future Hall of Famer Russell Wilson. He had a dynamic, crazy year from Wilson after going to a JUCO, but everyone was questioning his height, so he fell down the draft boards, didn't get picked up to the 4th by Seattle. History's all over after that. So, not saying that's what Shedeur is going to say. Not saying that's what's going to happen to Shedeur, but he got passed by every NFL team multiple times. You know what I mean? And Hall of Famer. So that tells you.
And I like Sanders, man. He's going to go, I think he's going to go in the 2nd round. He will. There's just no way. There's just no way I see him dropping out. I just don't. There's no way, dude. You
have Las Vegas and 4 picks. Maybe they take him. Backup for Geno. Geno's 35. He's not going to go to Indy. I doubt it. He's not going to go. Maybe the Rams back up, but Stafford's playing well. So maybe Arizona, no. Las Vegas, no. Cincinnati, no. Seattle. Who's Seattle's quarterback? No, they could probably take him because they have Seattle is Darnold, and they only have him locked in for basically a 1-year deal.
I would bet. Let me see here.
And then after that, it's Tennessee, so no. The Bucks, no. Green Bay, no. Chargers, no. Then us and Carolina. So that means if Sanders doesn't get picked by Las Vegas, his only other real option, it's either the Rams coming up in 2 picks, then Las Vegas, which is 2 picks after that, then Seattle. And if not that, he's literally, because you start to hit the playoff teams, he literally won't get picked for the basically remaining of the round. So he really has like 3 more chances in the second round.
That's why I'm getting nervous for him. I feel bad a little bit. I know maybe that's, I don't know. I don't get why he's not getting selected here, especially with.
As a Roku just went.
That was a good little. That shows you that the Bears weren't high on him though.
Yeah, because they could have took him.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, wasn't at the top of their board, unless they thought he would fall to 56. But that's such a big drop that I doubt that was the case. Because Ezeroku was already expected to go early top in this round, so you're probably right. You're probably right, because that's not a reach to get him here. I wouldn't have mind Ezeroku though. I would have not mind him at all. I'd have been excited about that. He was at 2024 ACC Defensive Player of the Year and a first team All-Pro. What they call it, All-Pro in college, All-American. Duh. So, let's see here. So we got Paul on here on YouTube said this team's an offensive powerhouse now. Exactly. If Caleb can deliver, yes, it is.
I'll say this right now. There is no excuse for Caleb Williams next season. Zero.
Oh, sure.
Zero.
No.
We will know probably by week 6,
4?
7, 8.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what's going on?
If Caleb's the guy or not, because this is insane. I mean, you talk about the line is really, really good. I would say top 15, potentially top 12 in the league.
Yep. Weapons are top 15.
No, those weapons are disgusting. If they all play,
Rome
takes a leap. DJ's already elite. You got Ben Johnson that elevates everything else. This offense is top 10, and if it's not, I'm going to be disappointed.
I was going to say its potential is easily top 10, top 5 right now on paper because we don't know how Luther Burden is. We don't know how Loveland is.
Yeah,
because Cole Kmet didn't play up to his potential. But if he goes back and returns to form, Rome takes a step.
The coaching, Vic, is what.
No. I agree with you. I'm just saying.
I don't even think their potential is top 10. I think their potential is probably top 5. And then they better be top 10 because on paper, what they put together here is
what they've invested
and for what Caleb.
For what they've invested in the past 2 years, you're right because you've invested in a new quarterback, Caleb Williams. You've invested in a number 1 overall pick, Caleb Williams. You've invested in a top 10 wide receiver, Rome Odunze. You've re-signed your second round pick, Cole Kmet. You invested in a top 10 tight end. So already you have 3 top 10 players invested on the offensive side. And then you double down with a early second rounder, basically a top 10 for the second round wide receiver in Luther Burden. So yes. And you also invested in a top 5 offensive head coach. So you have put your money where your mouth is. So I agree that that's what needs to happen. But the Bears have shown us in the past. Now, this is a new era. I'm trying not to, I'm not being negative about it. But they really have to show up. And if they do show up, the ceiling is through the roof. Like they can really be an offense that we haven't seen since the likes of Jay Cutler. And they could go even further that. Like, think of the Jay Cutler, Martellus Bennett, Alshon Jeffrey, Brandon Marshall, Matt Forte. We're talking about something along those likes, and they could be better than that. And that offense was top 5 with the crazy head coach from Canada. I can't remember his name now, but what was that coach? I can't remember his name.
Allen Robinson, former Bear. He tweeted, "Great pick by the Bears." That's just crazy, kind of random, but shout out to Allen Robinson. No, I agree. I will be just disappointed as fuck if this Bears defense or Bears offense is not top 10. And the reason why I'll be so disappointed is because me personally, it means Caleb Williams is not what we all expect him to be. And he was highly, highly touted as a franchise quarterback. Mahomes compared to he just has such high expectations. And I know he didn't meet him last year, but now I just don't see an excuse for us to not see this potential. And I'm not, and sure, it may not be Mahomes like next year, or at least by weeks 8, 9, and 10, but you're going to, I think there has to be flashes and there has to be consistency that we did not see last year. So the consistency, and then continue those flashes and continue to build on it week in, week out, and win games. I think it's just getting scarier and scarier, because now there's just not an excuse. Like, if he performs, we're going to be set. If he doesn't, we're going to know that he's not the guy by next year.
Which is what we want, right? That's the ideal position, I guess
so.
To be in.
You're right.
Right, because you want to know right away, like, okay, this isn't it. We can start to adjust, right? You go into the next year and do something different. So I'm actually okay with that. Like, I'm fine with, like,
I just think it's a little nerve-wracking, because you're going to know right away. There's going to be it's like with Justin, that's what it was all about. That's why there's such crazy arguments. There was, Justin's side, there's people for Justin, against keeping Justin, because it was so murky because of how Poles and them kind of tore the roster down when he came here in year 1 and 2, had some of the worst rosters of a French or a rookie quarterback ever. And then on top of that, now Caleb is basically getting the fruits of the labor of when they tore down that roster with Justin Fields and lost so many games. And sure, it wasn't all on him, but Justin Fields also did not play. He didn't really elevate, what was around him either, even though it was kind of poor. But at the same time, it's just, it is such a different Chicago Bears team and franchise. And I love what they've done and what they've built, man, both from the coaching, bringing in Ben Johnson, and now everything that Ben Johnson seemingly has his hand in everything now. Like, this is Ben Johnson
written all over it. Like, not to
all
take
over
away,
it, dude.
Not to take away from Poles, because obviously, like, he's the GM, his scouting, they do all of this. But this is like if this was a drink of water, like Poles is running it all, there's like drops of Ben Johnson in this. You know what I mean? Like, it's diluted with a little mix of there's a Ben Johnson concoction in this draft that we've done here. So I agree with you completely. But I think you're talking about, like, figuring out, like, you're talking about, like, whether knowing, you will know right away if Jesus, my mind's all over the place because it's draft. We'll know right away if Caleb Williams is the guy or not, right? Like, through this season. That's good, because that means the pressure's on, and that's what we want to see. Like, because this game is all about pressure and high pressure moments, and we want to see if Caleb's that. So then we can if we know early, right? The earlier we know, the easier we can adjust, right? You can make decisions. When a lot of teams get effed over and they make dumb decisions is when they decide to stick with a quarterback too long. And a prime example of that right now is the New York Giants. Daniel Jones stuck from way too long, did the extension that ended up cutting them, right? And then now that team is in desperation mode, a la Ryan Pace and Matt Nagy era, right? And then they do things where you trade into the first round for someone like a Jackson Dart. Doesn't mean that wouldn't work, but if they were in a much comfortable position and they had their guy, they wouldn't be making such a risky move like that. And so I think it's good that we're actually in that position. And I don't think Caleb's going to fail. Let me preface that. So I'm excited that it's going to be kind of a win-win situation when we're looking at the long term of this team, because we're going to have a lot of answers. Remember, because that's what we talked. I feel like I talked this all the time. Last season, I'm like, the biggest thing about this year is finding out if Caleb is the guy. That's all that matters. And then next year we'll know.
Yeah, I'm hyped, man. This is. I think Luther Burden is probably one of the most underrated players in this draft class, at least wide receiver wise, because it went T-Mac 1, and then it went Golden to Green Bay. So is he the third wide receiver taken off the board?
No, T-Mac. Yeah, Golden. You had there was another one. Let me see. I'm checking now. Travis went first. He's playing wide receiver. Emeka Egbuka, who went to the slot wide receiver, from Ohio State, that went to Tampa Bay. And then you have, so he's the fifth wide receiver. Okay. Which isn't bad. Fifth wide receiver in 2020 was Justin Jefferson. Not saying he's Justin Jefferson, but just because you go first doesn't mean you're the best, or go third or go fifth or go seventh, right? There's skill all around here. It's all about people finding the right guy. So we'll see what happens.
6 wide receiver. Yeah. Wow. It's you know how they said Colson Loveland was a luxury pick. I mean, this ain't a luxury pick. I don't know what it is. This is awesome. They went on, and it may be best player available too, because
it has to be.
but I think to kind of wrap it up, because I know we have a couple more picks. The Chicago's back on the clock. I think Ben Johnson, Ryan Poles, I think they're absolutely killing it. I love that they have like almost like a microscope on the offense where they're making sure, and we just talked about it, how Caleb Williams, they are stockpiling weapons. I mean, they're just building safety nets, right? With Cole Kmet, Loveland. Now you got weapons, speed. I'm very curious. What was his 40?
4.41. 4.41.
4.4. I mean, they're
80,
stockpiling explosive talents. I mean, guys that just are going to make Caleb Williams' life easier. And then added Joe Thuney, Hall of Fame guard. Added stability at center. Probably the best center we've had in a very, very long time, at least in the last 5 years.
Longer than that, probably.
Then you got a really, really solid offensive line. I think Darnell Wright still has the potential to be a star Pro Bowler level. Braxton Jones, however you feel about him, I think he's at least average.
Oh, for sure. No question.
And at times can play above that.
Yeah.
However, there's times, other games, snaps, halves where
bull rush, anything versus a bull rush.
It's tough. It looks rough, right? And that's where people are so toxic around him sometimes, is because of those halves or those quarters where he just has a really hell of a time out there. So, but all in all, the consistency around that offensive line for Caleb is going to be leaps and bounds ahead of what he had last year during his rookie season. And then you throw in the coaching. So I just love it.
Good points, but bad news.
Oh, Will Johnson.
Will Johnson finally went to the Cardinals.
Oh, I'm happy for him, man. I'm happy.
No. I meant bad news for us, because that would be a great pick at 56.
Oh, yeah. That'd be crazy.
That'd be amazing pick at 56. I meant
Johnson
bad news
squared.
for us. Oh, I didn't even think about that. Oh, also, it's a Michigan boy. So he played with Loveland. So
yeah.
We'd be the little mini Wolverines from this one. Trade. Texans are on the clock at 48. So they traded with bro. That was supposed to be Las Vegas's pick, I'm pretty sure. And I was like, oh, that should be Shedeur. They just keep trading back, which I get. That makes sense for their team. But I'm like, when is Shedeur getting picked, bro? That's crazy. All right, yeah. Man. Okay, so Texans jumped in front here. Wonder who they're going to take.
Oh, man.
It's good stuff. Man, I love the draft. This is the shit I live for. Little fun story time. I used back in the day, it used to be only on
real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Actually, finish that, and then I got to go to the bathroom.
You can go ahead. I'll talk to.
We're already an hour in. Yeah, no, I want to hear this. I want to hear this.
Say back in the day, it used to only be on Saturday. So this is like back when I was a kid.
I didn't even know
right?
that.
Yeah, only on Saturday, and it used to be all day. So I used to go to my friend's house every draft. Me and him, we played games and whatnot. I'm talking like when we're like middle school, right? It started at like 10 a.m. and wouldn't finish in one day, all 7 rounds till like 1 a.m. So it literally would be 12 to 14 hours straight. And then I think 6 years ago, they decided, hey, let's start making this, let's start to make this prime time, which makes sense. Split up into multiple days of revenue, more eyes on it. So, but that's why I love the draft, because I used to be a sicko and would just sit there as a 10-year-old and watch the Bears pick all the way through.
I kind of wish it was on Saturday, though. I ain't gonna lie to you. That would be kind of fun.
It would. I do like this. It does make sense from like the excitement standpoint, but that would
final thoughts before I use the restroom. Training camp is a must. This Bears offense is going to be electric. I think the Bears defense is going to I know they talk a lot of shit, but I think this training camp is going to be nuts. Year 2, Caleb, he's going to be a lot smarter. Ain't going to be fooled as much. Confidence can be higher. And not to mention weapons on weapons. Training camp's a must. You're hearing it here first. I'll be right back.
All right, you're good. Take your time. I'm going to talk to the people. All right. Let's take a little break here. I know it's been kind of chaotic here with this draft because there's just so much going on. We have to follow the Twitter feed, see what's going on the show, talk to y'all. So thank you if this is a little bit less structured than our normal shows. But we appreciate all of you being here. There's like 4,000 people in here, so we really do appreciate it across all our platforms. You guys are fantastic. We really do appreciate it. We love doing this. But I want to hear from y'all right now. Grade the draft so far. All right. I want to hear that in the comments. Grade the draft so far. What's been your favorite pick out of the two? Which one do you like more? Which one do you like not as much, right? So just let me know in the comments. I want to get your guys' thoughts, kind of want to break it down. And who do you want us to pick at 56? And now 62, right? So want to know who you think we should go for on board that's still on the board. What position? Are you happy with what we've done so far? What Ryan Poles and Ben Johnson and company have done? Let me know in the comments. So this is a good one here. Lucas said on Twitter, Texans are going Mike Green. Just watch. That's someone the Bears could go for, to be honest. I don't think it happened because of the SA allegations. You can do your research onto that, but we have Johnny on Twitter here said, bro, that is timeout. That is the fastest. They need to time that. That's your 40 speed right there. That was the fastest piss. He can't even hear me, so I'll wait till he puts his headphones in. But we got Johnny here on Twitter said A-. Luther is the better pick just based on value. Both picks scream Ben Johnson. We got Manny in here said let's go running back and then defensive end. I wouldn't mind that. Alex Hamilton, who's in here, said B+. Still think trenches would have been the move. Yeah, I'm definitely agree there. Trenches. As the trench king myself, I do love building up the interior defensive and offensive line. Lucas Graham says our feeling our running back of choice all this time was Caleb. Could be. We could get him. Burden for sure my favorite here from Caleb. Said Burden for sure my favorite. Bears going to have a top 3 receiving core. I could see that. Ian Boyle here said B+. We need a linebacker 3. We do because because what's his name is gone. Why can I not think of his name? Linebacker 3 who went to Dallas with Eberflus. Oh
Sanborn.
My gosh. Sanborn. Thank you, Jack. Jesus.
I was trying to figure out what we were talking about here.
Sorry. Well, first I was talking about that was one of the fastest pisses ever. If that was a 40 time, right? That's the
pretty good, huh?
Scouts would be going crazy. So they'd be very happy with that one. We got Caleb in here with the A- on it. We got Ian Boyle said he wants Scatabo. Don't tell Jack that. He would hate that. Lucas here said Caleb gives better compliment to Swift than Henderson does. I do agree. He's more of a bruiser back. But we do kind of have that with Roshan Johnson. So we'll see. Kyler here's with the A-. Appreciate that, Kyler. Jason said, love this Bears draft. Loveland is great. Being a Wolverine fan, seen him for a few years and think he's the best tight end in the draft. Would love Caleb Johnson at 15. So a lot of Caleb love here. Bears Blast says LB3 is Luther. Oh, duh. Thank you, Bears Blast. I was thinking because I also asked what position should we be targeting next. I read that linebacker 3. You're right. Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, so LB3 is an exciting pick. We love a good wide receiver. Juicy Jake 95 said A- and should go for Nick Scorton next. Oh, he's still on the board. That'd be a great pickup. Or like JT Tumalau from Ohio State. I wouldn't be mad about that. Manny's let me know. The great Sanborn, Eduardo, the great Sanborn. Hopefully you cleaned yourself up after ficking yourself, Eduardo. And then Rohan said Mike Green and Caleb Johnson would be insane. We got Gage in here said, good, too nice to be watching the BFR. Thank you so much, Gage. Love you. Appreciate that. Lucas Guzman said maybe we should roll with 2 guys this year and start going heavy defense with these next 3 picks. Yeah, I think so. Not that we need to force it. Take the best
I just think it's beautiful. I mean, just sit back here. I know it's like, oh, yeah, probably need to level it out here, go defense, get an edge. But what a beautiful time it is that the Bears are prioritizing offense over defense, because at the end of the day, great defenses in this league, they get scored on. They get 40 points dropped on them occasionally. Like, it's just that type of league. It's offensive league. You're not winning a Super Bowl without, an elite offense. I know the Eagles just did it with Jalen Hurts, but I think that's pretty elite. It was pretty lethal. It wasn't, Mahomes-esque as far as, some of the star power there. But at the end of the day, it's just so cool to see a Bears franchise kind of make the shift, a dynamic shift into a, 2025 NFL football, like where it's offense. And at the same time, they do, I think they just done a really good job the last couple of years as well with, those 2nd round picks that we talked about with Gordon, just got an extension, Jalen Johnson, and even Tyreek Stevenson. They've just done a really good job. Andrew Billings as well, kind of making the defense. I think it's a really good unit too, but what a time to see the Bears just kind of make this cultural shift with Ben Johnson at the helm, and hats off to Ryan Poles, who's he is playing a hand in this too, at the same time. So I just think it's just so different. I haven't seen something like this since I've probably been a Bears fan, honestly. Jay Cutler and that team, I know it was a lot of offense there, but they traded away Greg Olson. That was
some
terrible.
of that was free agency though, because Martellus Bennett was a free agent. They traded for Brandon Marshall, which was nice. They did draft Alshon Jeffrey, who was great. Matt Forte was already on the team, so.
But that was a really good offense too. But it's just like I just feel like this is different.
Top 5. That was a really good one. And then people calling out that JT went to the Colts. Sorry, I need to catch up with all the picks, but thank you for calling that out. JT would have been a good pick from Ohio. Defensive end from Ohio State. I wouldn't have been mad about that. And then that trade for the Texans was for a tackle that I was not aware of. So interesting. Our Arente. Oh, it was Ursay. Okay, I know him. Yeah, from Minnesota. Never mind. Ariente, I believe is his name. Okay. And then the Bengals just took Demetrius Knight Jr., a linebacker.
Yep.
So we've seen 2 linebackers already in the second round. And really only, there's still a good safety on the board. Xavier Watts, right? From Notre Dame. I don't think he's gone yet. Is that your replacement for Kevin Byard? Because look, Kevin probably got one more year with us. Wouldn't be bad to get a. I think I think his contract will end after this year, so they could do a 1-year extension if he plays well. But right now, contractually, I think he's only under us for 1 more year. So you do need a replacement there. Obviously, you have the Jaquan Brisker issues, right, with the concussions that you got to be aware of. Even though he seems like he's healthy. But yeah, so we still got holes to fill here. We need to go edge. Scorton's still on the board. The best. I want to see who the best available is though right now. So Mike,
we're getting close.
We are. So here's some. Go ahead.
56 and 62. So we're 6 picks away.
6 picks away. And really 5 because I think Seattle's in. I'm just gonna list off some best players available. Let me know if anything stands out to you. So yeah, Mike Green, number 1. We know why he's fallen, okay? Edge from Marshall. Darius Alexander, who's a defensive tackle. You got Siobhan Ravel Jr., who I saw him go early in a lot of mocks, like first round, like late first round. East Carolina, cornerback. He's a smaller guy, though. Shedeur Sanders, obviously, we wouldn't go for that. You got Elijah Aurora, who's a tight end. We wouldn't go for that. Trey Amos, who I saw go in the first round. Ole Miss, cornerback. Jared Wilson, center from Georgia. Shamar Turner, defensive tackle from Texas A&M. Trey Harris, wide receiver. We're not doing that. Jalen Noel, wide receiver. We're not doing that. And then 2, which I think are interesting. You have Kevin Winston Jr., Penn State safety. I've heard a lot of good things about him. A lot of people have hyped him up. Might be a replacement there. And then you got Caleb Johnson, running back. Looking at all of these, though, the next best running back available is Caleb Johnson, and there's no one after that. So that almost makes me feel like, actually, holy cow. On the ESPN's best available, out of the 25 players, there's only 1 running back on there. It's Caleb Johnson. So if they're going to go running back, it would have to be 56 because you can't take the risk and miss it. Because there's like the tier from him to someone else. But anybody on that position, doesn't even have to be a person. Was there anybody on there you were like, I would love to see that. I would hate to see this.
Call me content. I am cool with a lot of different areas they go here. I'm just excited to see what they do because I've been shocked twice now.
Yeah.
And it keeps getting more shocking. I mean, Loveland was pretty shocking. This one, I did not see it.
Ever. How about this then? This might be a better question. What would be the most shocking position picked?
Running back.
Don't worry about the player.
Opinion.
Really?
I think running back would be shocking. There's no way. There's no way they're going running back here. I just don't see that shit happening. No way.
Okay.
No way.
I won't do the same as you.
Is that what you were going to pick originally?
No, because I feel like that was going to be people thought that was going to be our second round pick. But since they went wide receiver, I understand why that's shocking, right? But if you're talking about team needs, running back is definitely on there. Not a high one. I think the most shocking, though, for me would be a linebacker.
Yeah.
Because why I say that? Even though you need to replace Jack Sanborn, we're not going to be running a lot of 3 back, as we've talked about with Dennis Allen. He doesn't run a lot of 3 down linebackers. So that one would be, and that would probably be a bad shock. I'd probably be like, oh, fuck. Running back shock, I'd be like, okay, I'm all right with it, But a linebacker shock would be a little, because he's not going to start. You have TJ Edwards and Tremaine Edmonds. Those are your big money makers.
Yeah.
Maybe, no, because I could see us doing corner. We need to fill that. As safety, like I talked about Kevin Byard, that makes sense. Maybe defensive tackle, though, I wouldn't mind someone to replace Zach Pickens. Andrew Billings obviously will be back. Javon Dexter definitely had a better year. So it's not a major need, but as we know with the defensive line, you need a rotation. So I'm not mad there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going through all the positions now. Sorry. Tackle, you could always use a backup for Braxton Jones. Guard, Joe Tooney doesn't have an extension yet, so you could take one there. Center, Dahlman's young, like youngish, 26, so you got him locked in for a good amount of time, but you could always use help on the O-line. Quarterback.
Yeah, that would be shocking.
That's the only one. Quarterback. They go a backup quarterback.
Sanders.
So, yeah. Oh, bro. Yo, yeah, no, the string would end. The string would end. That's it.
It'd be funny, though.
That would be funny.
Oh,
man, that's funny as shit. Honestly, I don't know if you saw this. A little off topic, not off topic, but Roger Goodell was being interviewed. Was it Pat McAfee or someone he was being interviewed by, talking about ways to like improve the draft? And I guess there's discussions. So as we know, I
saw that. Yeah,
7 minutes, right? There's discussions with the first round being 7 minutes, but a team can use the extra 3 minutes because you get 10 per pick, but you can only get that bonus once. So once throughout the draft. So they might do something where it's like, okay, this is your time limit, but you can do an extra if you're indecisive or whatever. But it can only be used once per draft. I would love that. I love the first round. I love the first round, and I love that's on Thursday. But that bitch takes way too long.
Way too long. Yeah. They also the picks getting spoiled is a real thing too, So
I hate that.
Yeah, I saw your tweet. I agree with you. I wish we didn't have that. That I do.
I sound like a boomer saying it. I really do. But most people are also watching the draft too. It wouldn't be an issue if people weren't watching it. And you're just like, oh, I'll just get it from Twitter. Like, for example, I love watching the NBA, but the NBA draft's not as exciting, right? So I'm not necessarily always tuned in, especially if my team doesn't have a lottery pick. So sometimes I'm okay if it's spoiled early because I'm not, you don't have millions of eyes on it, and it's not an event that has over 100,000 people there. So, but yeah, that's my boomer take. I got one of them where I'm
not
like,
a boomer. I don't think it is.
Okay. Wouldn't it make the experience better too? Like for everyone? I don't know. And I'm not digging at the insiders. This isn't a dig. I'm not saying that. They have to do it because that's kind of the environment that the product has become.
Yeah.
But how do you, I don't even know how you fix it. You can't there's no rule. It's not like they're breaking the law or anything, So.
No. And that's the insiders. That's what they're going to do.
Damn. Scorton just went to the Panthers, who traded up to 51.
Damn.
I'd have loved to have him. He's a big edge, though. Dennis Allen likes his big edges, so I wouldn't mind that. Man, that was what I was excited for. Not gonna lie, I'm not pissed, but that would have been a great. If we would have ended up with Nick Scorton at 56 with the first 2 picks, I'm walking away more excited than I was last year's draft, which is crazy.
I don't know about that. For me,
well, no, that's true. No, because we have Roman and Caleb. You can't beat that. But
that was
still, the Caleb one kind of sucks. We already knew it was going to happen. But the Rome one, nothing beats that excitement. That was crazy.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
That was super.
I'm trying to. So we're 52, 4 picks away.
4 picks. So we have Tennessee, Tampa Bay, Green Bay, Chargers, us.
Mm-hmm.
And then remember, we have a 61 right after that.
No, I know that's coming.
Oh, wait, no. Wait a second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 picks away, and then we have a pick.
No, we have 56 and 62. We have 56 and 62.
Okay, yeah. So 6 picks away.
Yeah.
Which I think is the last, second to last pick of this second round. So, okay. So, in essence, we get 3 second-round picks, which is great. Mm-hmm. That's why I'm not mad about trading the second one back. Yeah. Because we talked about it, Dave. You're like, well, if we walk away from here, right, with 3 solid starters, not saying all of them have to be superstar, all pro, right? You walk away with 3 solid starters. Well, now we have a chance to walk away with 4. You know what I mean? Like that one extra person's huge. That can take a team from being fringe wild card to playoff contention. I mean, for being like, you know, playing in the conference games. So let's see who the Titans go here.
I'm not sure. Oh no, that's not it.
Oh, they went edge, back-to-back edges. They went Oladejo from UCLA.
Good pick. Yeah, we'll see what Chicago does here, man. I'm not ruling out anything, but I am excited to kind of see what they do.
Interesting. Yeah. Mike Green's still there. Mike Green is still there. Oh, man. It's just so hard with that. Like, I'd be excited about the talent, but it'd be hard for me to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just because I
know. Mike Green that
off-field stuff, bro. I need that cleaned up before I start praising a pick about someone. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Both
All right, let me sorry, I haven't seen some of these comments. Let's put it in here. Yeah, Squirtin went to Carolina. Yep. Lucas, yep. Yeah, 3 second-round picks are starters. They should be if you hit on them, Manny. That's the goal. Oh, Gage, you're down with Mike Green, even with the SA stuff. It's gonna be tough. Yeah, Rohan, there's definitely a little run on the edges. It's not great. You know what, though? I didn't even think about this, Dave. There's been a run on edges, which means that they've literally been picking people other than Mike Green.
Well, yeah, I'm telling you.
Like it's no.
It's out of the question now. That's not happening. I wouldn't. Yeah. Did he go undrafted at this point, or do you just risk a late pick and if
maybe a late you go late just because you get a contract, right? So you get contract stability, but you'd have to go late. Chai Bears, Jesus, bro. It's these drafts have been messing up my brain. Chai Bears 1022 on Twitter said Xavier Watts. We talked about him from Notre Dame, safety. That'd be great. I'd be happy about that. Eduardo's going. I'm going Mike Green. Wow, some people are okay, and that's no judgment of your character. We're just talking about the risk evaluation here, right? It's like H said. Well, at least we'll know the Bears aren't picking Shedeur Sanders. Yeah.
I mean, I would feel better if Chicago takes him. I would feel really good that everything's good.
Yeah, because polls
and they're using a second rounder. It's a premium pick in my opinion. Still, it is in the third. It's not a fourth, obviously. So, but yeah, Mike Green his talent is crazy.
Yeah, the Ursa, he said, looking bad for an edge. Yes, we are. Yeah, but we also still need linebacker 3, not Luther Burden 3rd. We do need another linebacker. Defensive tackle, we could take safety. We talked about we need that. Running back and offensive tackle. Honestly, I'd take a backup center too. Maybe not at 2, but yeah, Alex, there's a good point here. Mike Green seems like a Chiefs pick, especially since they rocked with Kareem Hunt. Yeah. They've definitely took on people with off-field issues. Even on their team now, they always have someone who's in the news for something. So, yeah. Josiah Stewart at 62. Wouldn't be mad about that if Mike Green gets snagged. Yeah, we can see what happens with Plett. We'll see. Who knows? I have no idea. We're going to find out here, though. This draft's going to tell us each draft we walk away knowing more and more of, like, the mind of Ryan Poles, right, and the guys around him. So
this one's one of the more unique ones, though,
for sure. Because
last year it was much simpler with Rome's there. You take him. It's simple.
Yep.
He fell to U9. Caleb obviously was a lock. Roger Goodell and the NFL made him wait the full 5 minutes or something. But this year it's like shockingly they are going offense back-to-back and premium. Well, tight end's not premium, but I mean, he's a weapon, Loveland. And then, premium position is Luther. So what a pick, man. And it's funny is that it's coming out now. He was talking with the media. Luther Burden said that he had very little contact with the Bears. And thing that pops in my mind is Bears didn't think he was going to fall. That's the only thing I could think of. So that gets you a little excited right there that the Bears probably landed someone really higher on their board. And Burden is also pissed off. It looks like he's upset that he went 39. Obviously, he's happy being in Chicago, but he said he is upset that he fell to 39. That's why he was apparently more details came out. He was working. He went to Mizzou football facility, got some passes in, and his girlfriend actually worked the jugs machine late into the morning, 2 a.m., to kind of blow off some steam about not getting drafted in the first round. So that's the type of character, that's the type of mentality, the competitor you're getting here with Luther Burden from Mizzou. So 5'11", 205. He's also 21 years old.
Young guy. We'll take it.
Super young, dude. His birthday. What do you say?
No, sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. You can keep going.
You're good. No, I didn't have his birthday on here.
It's funny though. Sometimes the birthdays, some of these players, I'm like,
gotta catch up.
Yeah. But Alex Hamilton said, "Isn't there a good defensive tackle from Indiana?" I just want to answer this because obviously that's my team. Yes, there is. His name's CJ West. He was dominant. He's more of like an Andrew Billings tech though, like a one tech. So we'll see though. I don't think the Bears would go for him, but if they did, I would be happy about him. A lot of people had high praise for CJ West. So yes, there is. And then Morrison just went. It looks like, yep, Benjamin Morrison, yep, cornerback just went to the Bucks.
Huh.
Xavier Watt's still there. They just showed Mike Green. Looks like he hasn't gotten a call yet. Yeah, he's probably not going to get one for a minute. So probably not gonna get one. Yeah, falling though, that shit's got to suck. Expecting to go in the first round like Shedeur right now. Or any of these players where you're expected, it's not their fault that they're being projected this high, right? And then teams don't pick them. That would suck personally. So I do feel for them on that. It's like these players can't decide when they get picked.
Are you talking about Mike Green or Sanders?
Mike Green's a little bit on him because of his stuff he did. I'm saying like players like that fall in the draft, like it's not Shadeur's fault. People were putting him as top 5, right? He didn't do that, and then. It's not his fault that teams are passing on him, so it kind of sucks, Not just him, but like Luther Burden, right? You just got to sit there. People build up all this hype around you, and then you get to draft day and watch you get passed and passed and passed and passed.
Yeah.
Sucks.
No, it is. It is. Lights a fire under, though. We've seen some really incredible stories, athletes getting passed on,
A big one.
Michael Jordan, of course, right? He holds everything.
The guy we hate, for sure. Yeah, that motherfucker. You said one bad word to him.
Tom Brady.
Yep, Rodgers. Brady for sure. He went. So to be fair, Brady didn't have a great career at Michigan, so I understand why he was picked that late. But yes, it does with the all-time greats. It does fire something.
Okay, Green Bay's picks in. I'm very. Someone says Green and Golden.
Yeah, did you see that? I was about to say.
I think that's more of like not Mike Green. I think that's like actually just a Green Bay Green, and then Golden. I guess
that would be funny though when they go Golden in the first round and they go Mike Green in the second. That would be funny. Hopefully this player sucks though. Nothing against you, player, whoever you are, but fuck the Packers, right? Can we get some FGB in the chat actually? Because Green Bay sucks.
Here it is. Let's see. How old is DeAndre Swift? Is he 26?
Yeah, I would say 26 or 27 would be my guess. Because he's already passed
Moore's 28. Yeah, he's 26.
Okay.
I'm trying to get some numbers here because I'm very, very curious. Cole Kmet, I think, is 26.
Let's see. Sorry. Anthony Belton, tackle. Okay. Not gonna lie, I don't know much about him.
What weapons am I missing here, Fick? Yeah, I don't know much. No, actually, I do. Not a lot. Not a bad pick, especially at 54.
Yeah, for some reason I don't feel like I remember that name. Because when I was doing
the mock draft simulator.
No, that's fine. Because when I was doing my tackles, I mostly did all the way to like early first because that's what I figured we'd take a tackle.
Am I missing any skill players here from the Bears, Fick? Caleb Williams, Roma Dunze, Loveland, Burden, Swift, Cole Kmet, DJ Moore. Like those are the main, right?
Roshan.
I'm not putting him.
That's it.
I'm talking like stars, that on offense. That's probably it right there, right?
Hey, Roshan, don't disrespect Roshan in the 5-yard line. Every time he got the ball in the 5-yard line,
especially this new offensive line, but
we didn't get there
star power. Caleb Williams, 23, Roma Dunze, 22, Loveland's 21, Burden's 21, Swift is 26, Cole Kmet's 26, DJ Moore is the oldest at 28.
Yeah, it's good to see. We love that. We love that. And then let me give some shouts here. We got Johnny with the FGB in the chat. Love that. Ursay, let me know if I'm pronouncing that right with the FGB in the chat. Love that. Isaiah on Twitter with the FGB. Let's go.
But I got to give some credit, though, to Green Bay. What an awesome experience if you were there. I know I talked about it being so many people, but that is such a football city. And I think it's such an incredible stadium, like historic. I don't like complimenting it because it makes me feel sick a little bit, but it's such a
historic. That's why it's there.
An elite atmosphere over there. So
I agree with you completely. Fuck that team, but absolutely. You feel me with the FGB. Love that. Plet on Twitter as well with the FBG. Fuck Bay of Greens. I love that. And then we got Rick Ruiz on YouTube with the FGB. And then Travis said, cheers, Ficky and Dave. My eyes are red. I feel you. We've been staring at screens. I dreamt of the draft last night because I felt like it was still running in my mind as I was falling asleep. So, but yes. Oh, Trey Harris, wide receiver. Ole Miss went to the Chargers. Good, because they need wide receivers. My God, they need wide receivers.
That's what you kind of want, though. A receiver going there for Chicago.
We're up next. We got Isaiah Ott with the FGB.
Hey. Actually, I think I got a message. That's my friend, Isaiah.
Oh, is it? Well, shout out to you, Isaiah. I don't know you, but friend of the day. Much love.
Yeah. Well, you played with him, I think, on Rivals.
Oh, is that Isaiah? Oh, yes. Yeah. Okay. Well, hello.
I think he snapped me, but I haven't checked my phone.
Yeah, my phone's blowing with stuff,
and I didn't. Anyways, Isaiah, love you, bro.
Awesome. We love that. Oh, yeah. Eduardo said you forgot Mercedes Lewis, Dave.
Oh,
39.
52. You said 30.
Okay.
Here we go.
Yeah, we got Ian said Green Bay still sucks. Okay, pick us in. Here we go. Oh, and there's your wife.
What did she say?
So love Green Bay. Yeah.
Very fun.
Well, that's your ex-wife now, right?
Yeah. The pick is in, not for Chicago, right? They better have it in.
It says, yeah.
Oh, am I behind?
No, it says it's in. They haven't announced it. It just came up on the notification thing.
Oh, okay. Wow. I'm glad they got it in.
Mercedes Lewis.
Okay.
That is a funny comment.
I saw that 56 and the Broncos are picking 57. At first, for some reason, I was like, I saw the orange and blue because the Broncos, and I thought we had 56, 57. I said, what the fuck did I just miss?
Yeah, what happened? Honestly, the draft, I'm telling you, second round moved so quick that could happen.
This is how the first should be. I know you said that earlier, I think.
For sure. I think it would. I get why they do it because you want that hype. And also, the longer it is, the more commercials you can run, more revenue. I get all that. It's always a business. I get that.
Yeah.
But from a fan's perspective, can we get even if you cut it from 10 minutes to 8 minutes, you're saving 2 minutes per pick. That's literally an hour that you just cut off on time. Just from 2 minutes per pick. If you do 1 minute, it's a half hour. Literally, every minute you cut off, you save 30 minutes. So if you go from 10 to 7, you save literally an hour and 30 minutes. I'm just saying, I would not be opposed to it.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, Isaiah. Yep. Glad you're here. We love this. We got Rick Ruiz in here with Dub Bears. Appreciate that. And then Manny said, yes, let's take Caleb Johnson. He's still on the board. We could take him.
If they go running back, I'm gonna lose it. That is crazy. I love it though.
That would be crazy.
There's no way. There's no way they're going offense. Oh, that goes tough. That's crazy. I wonder.
You wonder what?
I don't want to spoil it. I kind of want to just like,
Oh, I'm not spoiled. I'm
okay.
Out for this one. I'm not gonna spoil it for you, but I haven't been spoiled yet from our picks, and I kind of love it. So
yeah, I want to see. I want this one to be a little bit more live. See what they
especially since it's right here. It's right here. You don't.
Yeah, so
you have to wait that long.
Anyways, though, if you are here, a lot of people in the chat on YouTube and of course a ton on Twitter. Appreciate the love over there. But if you can hit that like button, subscribe, we appreciate it. We are we did 2 hours yesterday. We're going on almost 2 hours here. This is the draft, baby. One of my favorite events of the year, but we appreciate the support. Over 8,000 subscribers last week. And now we're just chugging along to 10K before the season rolls around. So if you can support, hit that like button, subscribe, and we appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. We do appreciate it. And we'll be announcing, Isaiah said we're in the BFR merch right now. Appreciate that, Isaiah. We do have merch. If you go to our BFR store, thebfrstore.com, fire merch that we dropped 2 weeks ago. New hoodies.
Light green?
No,
relax.
Relax. I knew that one was fake. But
you did?
You got me. You got me yesterday, though. You got me yesterday for sure. But you can go to the I think you did it. I think you got me twice. I can't remember.
Oh, okay. Anyways, finish that up.
Go to the BFRstore.com. Get hoodies, hats, shirts for your friends, your family, yourself. Fire gear. We just dropped some new merch. All the proceeds just go back to into the show so we can make it better for y'all. Also, if you guys want to join our Patreon, I see a bunch of Patreon members in here. We do live Zooms where you can meet with Dave and I, $10 a month. And Jack as well, and a bunch of other. We do monthly giveaways, giving away free merch and other awesome stuff in there. Private Discord where you can chat with all of us. Whole bunch of good stuff. If you want to do that, you can go to the BFR Den on Patreon. That's the BFR Den on Patreon. So all the proceeds from that as well go right back into the show, so we can keep delivering value for y'all, making the show better and better. Okay, I'm gonna hide the comments because I don't want them to spoil it either. Let's see.
Hold on. Here. How do I hide?
But yeah, thank you for the love and support. People on Twitter, if you guys want to just go to YouTube and hit like and come back after this pick, we appreciate that as well because it helps the algorithm. So, of course, they have to show have not made the playoffs since 2020. Yeah, we get it, bro. We get it. We suck.
COVID.
We have not finished better since 500. I mean, have not finished better than 500 since 2018. Thank you for that as well. I love these facts you keep sharing with us.
That's horrible, man.
Oh, here it comes. Here it comes.
Okay. Is this Seth Rollins?
Yeah, it is.
How am I so far behind?
Well, don't refresh now. Don't refresh now.
I'm not.
Yeah. So, okay, for WWE terms, like Seth Rollins, what tier is he? He's if
I had to do quarterbacks wise, if he was a quarterback in the NFL tier wise, he would probably be. And I could get this wrong. We might need our guys Phil and Profane Kapad over there. I would say Seth Rollins QB would be maybe like Kyler Murray.
I was thinking like Herbert.
Tier.
I was like Herbert.
Maybe Herbert possibly.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. Like he's big, but he's not like the top 3 or 4, right?
No, I don't think so. I follow a little bit, but not too closely. Only like the big events.
I knew I had to tap into you.
That Bears belt, though,
fire.
Really cool.
Fire. We need that. He's such a personality, though. These WWE people are hilarious.
Oh, and he's in Green Bay, dude. He's going to.
Oh, for sure.
And he's going to get what's-his-face back from yesterday. Clay Matthews.
Oh, he just had the best quarterback, Caleb Williams. Undefeated this year against the Packers. Sorry. I'll be quiet.
I love that.
Yeah.
His laugh, bro.
Yeah. So funny. Just laugh. Okay.
That's a good pick.
Okay. Tackle.
I think I had him mocked.
We talked about it, right?
I think I did. Is he 6'8"? Yeah.
Yeah, so we talked that tackle was I said if they go offense, it has to be offensive line. And that's what they do. This guy's probably he's not going to start, but you need a good piece. If they do not, as we know, Braxton Jones' contract will end after this year. If they decide to not re-sign, which I think they should if he has a good year, you have your replacement in Ozzy.
Mm-hmm.
So
he's 6'8", dude. Oh my gosh. That is, and I want to see where he was on the Beast.
Yeah, let me know.
He was off OT7. He was the 79th ranked best player in this draft.
Okay.
Projected in the 3rd round. However. Okay.
Well, we're near the back. We're at the back half of the second. So, yeah. So
6'8". Holy shit. What a pick. I like it. That offense again. Offensive.
Crazy. They just dropped a crazy tidbit here. Well, what was his last name? Ozzy. I feel like I missed the spelling. Let me see. Lions are up next. Wonder who they're going to take. Honestly, Lions in the past couple of drafts have been killing it. So I'm always surprised by who they take.
Oh, man. I like it. So he played left and right tackle.
Yeah.
6'8", 360. My goodness. I like it. It's a hell of a pick.
Yeah, he was 6'8". Chat, let us know what you think of the pick. Grade the pick in the chat. We'll share that here in a second after we send out a couple tweets.
I like it. I just love that they're just so focused on offense, man.
Yo, did you see the sad news with Derek Harmon? The defensive tackle that went
that was his mom. Yeah,
that's sad. Man, that's tough. Because I actually wanted the Bears to get Derek Harmon. He's like the 3rd best defensive tackle, projected 1st round. Obviously went 1st round, but having your mom, man, that's tough. That was such a sad story. He literally had to put his mom to rest, literally after he got drafted.
It is one of the sadder ones. And
yeah, I know they normally share all those worst sad stories during the draft. Like the ESPN's known for that. Like they barely tell you about who the skill of the player, but they'll tell you about his 3rd cousin who's been locked up for life. You know what I mean? Yeah. But this one's real because literally he went straight from the draft to the hospital. Now, sorry, not to make the sad a little.
No, you're good.
Not to make the show sad, but I saw them talking. Presenting the pick was a family veterans that had lost, I think, their son. So I was just like, forget these are humans.
Hey, fun fact about Ozzy: 0 penalties on 772 offensive snaps in 2024.
Bro, I was literally just about to tweet it because they said on NFL Network. Yeah, that's what what's his name?
I didn't even know I have the volume down. I'm reading on the Beast over here from.
Oh yeah, Joel Klatt mentioned it when he got picked. Yeah. But no, that's great. Tate Ratledge. Oh, that's a good one. I actually loved Tate Ratledge. I did look into his work. He's a guard. I didn't think we'd go guard in this draft, but I wouldn't mind that. And we could have taken him because he literally went right after us. Okay, pick 58, Las Vegas, who's traded back 50 million times. Is this where Shedeur goes?
I don't know.
What do you think? Do you think it's going to be?
No, I don't think so. I don't know what's going on with him, man. I hope it is, though. I like him in Las Vegas. I think it's a fun fit.
He doesn't have to play right away. He could be behind Geno for a couple of years. Like, why not?
Yeah.
Let's see. All right, let me see. I know we have picks coming up, but let me share with the chat all said about this pick. Sorry about that, chat. I'm a little behind here. Oh, some people, Dave, were saying safe. Oh, wait a second. Sorry.
Who?
Jack Besh. So it wasn't Sanders.
That's
but some
crazy.
people, I know, wow. Some people were saying they even put him a little higher. Some people love Seth Rollins. Not saying you're wrong, but some people are saying Peyton Manning.
No, that's what. Yeah,
Lamar,
I think he's that good.
A to S tier. S before his injuries. His knee exploded. Jesus Christ. Okay. And back injuries. Yeah, that's a crazy game. Okay, so people happy. We went O-line with KDG Tay on here. Said Ben Johnson's on a heater. Alex Hamilton loves it. Trenches, A+ draft, A+ trade back, cloud 9 right now. Okay. Is this guy good? We don't know if any of these guys are good, Caleb. We'll have to find out. People Gage said competition for Braxton. I don't think it's immediate competition. I really don't, but I do think it's a great depth piece and could be the future starting tackle.
I'll tell you what, it warmed up his fucking seat.
For sure. Not arguing
what you absolutely need in a contract year.
Yeah.
I love these picks right now, man. I really do.
No, absolutely. We love Poles talks about all the time. Ben Johnson talked about it in his opening presser. Competition is great. Iron sharpens iron. You lift the floor, everyone gets better. It's always good when you have pressure behind your back because you're going to perform. So I like the pick. Dave, as I still go through these, what's your grade on the pick?
That one? Well, this is where as we get later in the draft, it's hard for me not to be excited about it, happy about it. I'm gonna go go A. I'm gonna go A, man. I like what they're doing. They're hitting some really good. They're getting good players. I like that they went offensive tackle. I think it's a little awkward with him playing. What is he, primary right tackle?
Right.
That's a little odd.
But you know who's left? Who we didn't mention. You know who we didn't mention though?
Who?
Karan is technically left. Amagaji. So now look, he had a bad year, but the whole point was he was a project.
He was young. He's a project. He should never been out there. You're right, 100%.
For sure. No, he should have not been out. And that was showed.
And I'll be honest, that burned me because I was like, get this fucking guy on the practice squad. It was horrendous.
The worst performance. It was so bad.
That goes to show you, Matt Eberflus and that entire coaching staff really had no idea what the fuck they were doing because like confidence is a real thing that I'm hopefully didn't kill him as far as confidence wise. That was new regime, right? For sure. New regime in there. You're hoping not a clean slate, right? Also, the offensive line coach talked about like he's not giving up on him as you shouldn't. It's only a 1 year in. This is the NFL, bro. This isn't like even NBA. All these sports. Sometimes it takes longer to develop. One of the hardest positions the position that takes super long to develop, tight end. You see it all the time. They peak way, way later. So you got to understand that some guys are going to come out of the gate and deliver from the jump. Justin Jefferson. Some guys it takes a couple years. Can I say something real quick?
Please.
Actually, can I tell you the next pick?
No, he's not the backup for Lamar.
Can I tell you the next pick?
Are you telling me out of all the teams?
I'm not. That is not who they picked.
Okay. I'm like, are you telling me?
It would be crazy.
Are you telling me Shedeur went to the Ravens?
Mike Green in Baltimore.
There it is.
That's nuts. 17 and a half sacks last season.
That defense is so good already. So, damn. Not damn. I don't know. I don't know if we're the
don't know.
I don't think we're the team that can take that risk. The Ravens, who's consistently been winners.
You know how like Watson and the Browns got him. How can you cover that team? How can you be excited? It would just be awkward. I know it's innocent proven guilty, blah, blah, blah. But it's like that dynamic. Now, Mike Green is not the quarterback, but it's just you would have that storyline. You would have that
all the time. Every play he makes, or doesn't make, that stuff's going to come up until it's cleared. Even if it's cleared, it's still going to come up.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not going to lie though. You had me kind of freaked out because if it was Sanders, bro, I'm like, I'd rather slip.
Good spot for him though.
But you're not playing.
To not play, but like to develop, and he wants to play, right? I would assume. But it's just like
that one is not a quick track to playing though. That's like you might be sitting 4 years, bro.
Or a trade piece.
For sure.
If development, someone, that type of thing. Play him in the preseason. Obviously, that's not happening, but So, let me see here. So we have, where are we at now? 62 is coming up. So we have a couple more picks, and I think we'll end it after 62.
Yeah.
I think that's obviously fair. I think they're going in the third though tonight.
They are. What pick though? No, they have a third. I think they have a fourth. They don't have a third, right? I'm gonna check real quick.
They have a.
I should know this, right?
Fourth is 109.
Yeah, they have a fourth. They don't have a third. They don't have a third though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So this will be the last pick for.
This will be it for the day. Yep. And everything else is tomorrow, which we will not be live tomorrow because that takes forever. Sorry, but sorry, that one is such a long one. But
yeah. Let me
Best believe here. I will be watching though. I will be glued to my TV. I say TV like I'm watching on TV. I'm not, but I need to see where the hell Shador goes, man. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to make it all about that. It's just I haven't seen a drop like this in a long time with a player, So it's definitely an interesting story.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if Mike Green was a potential target for the Bears at 62.
I feel like
he was there.
I feel like we won't ever.
We'll never know. Yeah.
Yep.
Pretty cool though.
Yeah, it is.
Chicago. Pretty cool pick. This is where I'm excited to see what they do here since this is the final one. I mean, this is one of the more impactful ones. I know you got a 4th, 5th, and 7th, and that 4th is important. Torrey Taylor, of course, but I'm excited to see what they do here.
Yo, I got to make this comment. Yeah, I know. I'm trying to stay away from it because Mel Kiper got blasted. Sorry, no pun intended, but Bears blasted. It started to sound like Mel Kiper with the Sanders talk. Do you see that stuff yesterday? He spent 15 minutes talking about Sanders throughout the draft while players are getting picked. And people were like, dude, you going to talk about the players that got picked? He just kept bringing up Sanders falling. Yeah. It was like a big deal. So, but I mean, he is Mel Kiper. He's literally the OG of all of this, to be honest. Whether you like him or not, this is the dude that has helped make the draft as big as it is. Because no one was really talking about it, but at the level he was. And that's why he did it that's why he's been doing it for 35 plus years, which is wild to think of. So
yeah, I like Mel. I can't. This Sanders stuff is so wild to me, though. I don't get it. If he wasn't, for me, it's like if he wasn't it's not his dad's insane, right? Sanders, huge superstar talent, and then the way that it was his coach, and then but he did nothing but good stuff in Colorado. I mean,
Jackson
he was out
State.
in the community, Jackson State. I understand there was some weird, interaction sometimes, with the media and everything like that. But it's and I don't believe the interviews went this bad. I just don't believe it. So I'm just
also, if the interview went that bad, did he announce a crime he committed during the interviews? I don't understand where it'd be so bad that
Kenny Pickett went in the first round.
Yeah. Well, Dave, I said that I did a TikTok
Daniel
today. I did a TikTok today, and I said, miss me with all that. He's not good enough. When we saw Anthony Richardson go 4, and we saw Trey Lance go 3, we saw Mitch Trubisky go 2.
I saw something about they don't want to deal with his dad, but I'm like, his dad's chill.
He's coaching too. His dad has a whole.
Now he is a headline guy, and I thought I saw maybe a theory they don't want to deal with him possibly coming to the NFL being a coach and them losing their job. But I'm like, that's crazy.
He just signed an extension with Colorado for 6 years. So
I didn't think about that. That makes it even crazier. So
anyways,
it is.
But yeah, it is. Look, it is the biggest story of the draft because this dude was projected to go top 5. So sorry we're spending so much time on it, but it is. I mean, you keep every pick.
Every time we come back to it, I'm still confused. It's just crazy.
People say
have they not announced Mike Green yet, dude?
No, they haven't. They're about to.
Good God.
Plus, Rock, you said he's full of himself. I don't think so. I think he's just a confident kid, to be honest. And that's kind of what you want.
That's another thing I don't get because, like, I love
the confidence.
Even when Justin was confident and he was humble too, but I like that from. I mean, Luka Doncic, right? I know it's NBA. John Morant. Some people don't like it.
Kobe. You don't think Kobe's full of himself? Jordan's full of himself.
That I like that moxie. That I think there's probably a line, right?
Right, of course.
Down, but where has Sanders crossed?
You don't think Mahomes isn't full of himself? You have to be out there.
I will say this though. I think also there's a dynamic with his dad and him, and kind of feeling like, because if you take his dad away and he was just Sanders but without Deion, like what would that look like? I feel like it would be toned down a lot more.
Oh, for sure.
As far as the media and the hype.
Yeah,
and he would just be able to be a player and a really fun quarterback, right? Perhaps a project. Maybe not start right away, sit him for a year, that type of thing. But right now, it's like you draft him.
Anyways.
It's almost like they expect him to play right away, where I don't think has to be the case. So I think he's gonna slip out of the second round, man.
Oh, no question.
It's crazy. But when we started this, I was like, is he not gonna get picked in the second?
The next 4 teams are Washington, Jaden Daniels, Chicago, Caleb Williams, Kansas City, Patrick Mahomes, and Philadelphia, Jalen Hurts. Who's picking him? I can pick till 3rd round. So it is what it is, man. Hopefully one day this will actually be our normal pick, the back half of the draft, because we're winning games with the names like KC and Philadelphia. That'd be fantastic. Not that we had to trade back to get there, but we're just there anyways. But yeah, Mike Green, man.
Hey, the Broncos are making their selection quick too.
Oh, yeah. Alex said, talking through the Mike Green selection, they don't even want to talk about him. Look, we've talked about nauseam about it. So
did they not? How much did they not talk to him about it?
I don't know if they really talked about it much, but
it's a weird one, man.
Depending on what stream you're watching, obviously.
You got to say a lot allegedly.
Yes. Yes, you do.
Oh man. Happy for him though. Like if everything's if he's what is it?
Sorry, RJ Harvey, UCF. I actually really liked him. I really liked RJ. Yeah, he had a lot of like advanced analytics. Like people are saying,
running back. Yeah.
Super, super fast, speedy guy.
Home run speed. Yeah, is what they're saying.
Yeah, RJ Harvey was.
Okay,
I could see potential.
Since we're about to get out of here, what do the Bears do? 62. What position?
Defense. Edge.
Defense.
Well, no, actually, no. Let me not say that. I need
to see what running back.
You know what?
They go running back, dude.
Okay, so either they're going to go Jared Wilson from Georgia. They're going to go corner with either Trey Amos or Siobhan Revel, or they're going to go safety with Kevin Winston or Xavier Watts. So I'm going to go corner, safety, edge, or center. What about you? And I'm probably going to be wrong.
My first pick is going to go offense. Don't know where. I think it's going to be a running back potentially. Maybe another tackle. I have no idea, dude. That's where I think they're going to probably go just because of what's going on right now. I think that it would be crazy just for them to go all offense. But I would probably also think edge would be the most likely. Safety, like you said. So I'm going to go running back as my first pick here is what I think they're going to do. I don't really want them to, but I think so. Then I'll go edge, safety, and maybe defensive tackle if there's anything there.
No,
I haven't looked.
No, it's not in yet. It's not in yet. Trey Amos just went to Washington, so there's that.
Okay. Never mind. Dude, man. Bears picked 26 minutes ago. This is taking forever.
I wouldn't mind Trey Amos. 6 foot, 195, good size. Like they said Tre'Davious White comparison. I would have been okay with that.
I bet they go defense though. I don't think they could, but I would probably go defense.
Look, I'm not gonna be mad if they go offense. If they go like offensive, if they go like center, I wouldn't be mad about it. Still, Caleb Johnson, we talked about it. He's still on the board. We don't have a 3rd round pick, so this is when you got to take him, right? Do they go? Would that be something though, Dave? First 4 picks, all offense.
I would like to see it.
That's crazy. What do you guys want in the chat? Let us know. The pick is in, so you only got maybe a minute or so to figure this out. But let me know what you guys want in the chat, who you think it should be before we head out here after this pick. So we got the Go24 on Twitter says we need edge. We do. Plastic Rocket wants a defensive tackle. I'm not mad about that. We got Bears blasted Darius Alexander, defensive line, defensive tackle. That'd be a good pick. Wouldn't be mad about that. Reggie said running back or defensive tackle on Facebook. Thank you for watching, Reggie, on Facebook. Appreciate that. So, What's did you see it? Did it come in?
No, I'm trying not to.
Gotcha. So we got Alex Hamilton saying safety or running back. Gage saying running back. Jason said I want Caleb Johnson. Again, that's a running back out of Iowa. Yeah, I think Caleb Johnson is definitely the favorite pick, I would probably say, from the group. But we'll see what happens here. I doubt Seth announces this one too. I feel like he's
no. I think they only get one. I mean, if
someone said
that one,
that'd be crazy.
It would be.
Nick said defensive back or running back. Yeah, I can see that. Nick also said
spoiled it for myself.
That's all right. Tyreek is a liability. 1036 on Twitter said edge. We'll see. My guess is they probably go running back or D-line is my guess. Michael said running back. We'll see what happens. Running back or safety from Jack B on Twitter. Appreciate that, Jack. Also, after this pick, we will be heading out. We'll do our final goodbyes. We just want to thank you all for joining us on our second night of the second round of the NFL draft, our watch party. Really do appreciate it. The only thing we ask you do before you head out is just like, and if you haven't subscribed, subscribe as well. Also, I know there's a lot of new people in here. We have shows weekly. This is the BFR Podcast, the #1 show for the fans, by the fans. Dave and I are fans just like y'all. We really do appreciate being on here, and we're just trying to build a fan community here that loves this team, right? So if you could just like and subscribe, we really do appreciate it. If this is your first time, again, thank you for joining. Like we do on all of our shows, please leave a hashtag new face gang. We'll give you a shout out before the end of the show. So get them in here real quick before the pick comes in. As Michael said, who's also OG, if you're a hashtag if you're OG in the chat, please leave a hashtag OG. We'll give you a shout out before the end of the show. And also, you can sign up for our Patreon like Michael has. We've got a bunch of giveaways in there, monthly mailbag episodes, Zoom episodes, a whole bunch of great stuff, private Discord, free merch, all bunch of good stuff in there. So if you want to join our Discord, you can at the BFR Den on Patreon. So that's BFR Den on Patreon. All right. All right, I see some OGs and new faces in here. We'll give you a shout out before the end of the show, but the pick is in, so we're gonna have to see what's coming up.
I'm very excited to see the chat and what you think here. Okay. Very. Yeah, I'm not gonna say anymore. Don't want to spoil it.
Yeah, and this is the last draft pick for us tonight. I doubt we trade in. I would probably say no. Dave, do we have 2 fourths next year? I mean, tomorrow, or is it 1 4th?
So we have 1 4th. So we have our next picks after this is 4th. We have a 4th rounder, pick 109, 5th round, pick 148, and 7th round, pick 233. As of right now, obviously.
Okay. Yeah, this is Des White. I think he announced our first pick of today.
Okay.
I love this shit talk. All right, let's see. Ooh,
there you go.
I like that. I like Shamar Turner. Okay. I like that. That's a good pick. Shamar Turner, a lot of people had him going to us. Well, not a lot. I mean, I saw him as in a bunch of mocks going to us. I definitely did my research on him. He is a solid 3 tech. So I'm not mad about that. There is your Zach Pickens replacement, in my opinion.
I like it a lot. I'm very upset I spoiled it for myself, but I'm glad they went defense. He has a hilarious highlight. I don't know if it's a highlight where back in 2021 against Ole Miss, he punched the guy in the nuts after the play because the offensive lineman he got up and was hovering over him and had his nuts in his helmet. So he's getting up and he's like, what the? So he just launches, bro, a fucking missile right arm.
I'm gonna
I don't want to share it because it's draft night. I'm not gonna share it because it's really fucking funny.
That happens in the piles all the time. That happens.
There was no pile.
Oh, it was just right there.
All off on the right side.
Oh
bro,
my God.
Just look it up.
All right, that's funny.
Moment.
Okay, that is hilarious. Worth it. All right, before we head out as well, grade the pick. Let us know real quick in the chat if you like the pick. If not, we'll share them before we head out of here as well. Dave, what's your thoughts on the pick? Grade it. You giving it another A? You walking away here with A?
No, this one is an A+. No, it's an A. It's hard for me to get upset with all these picks because one, we haven't seen him play, so it's way too early grade. I like the entire process. I like that they've gone really best player available for the most part in the early rounds. This one is a projection. I think it's I like the attack on offense and then finishing up the second round with a defensive tackle, where you just add more guys, where you can kind of cycle in, have a rotation of guys. Andrew Billings, right? Just keep these guys fresh. Who knows what who knows his ceiling? Who knows where he's going to pan out as far as an NFL player in his career? But I like the tangibles. I like him as a player. And I think this is the hard part when it comes to like the offseason and the draft, is you're just so optimistic. At least I am, I know, I cover the team and I write about it, but at the end of the day, we are fans. Like we're a fan of this team. And now not all writers are fans of the team they cover, but that's where I am. That's where you are. Right. And this podcast obviously is Bears. We're all Bears content. So for me, I'm just super optimistic. And I can't really go anything below an A or at least a B+, because I like the process, and I really, really like that Poles even traded back to land these 2 players. So to accumulate another second rounder. So I think this is really good process all around, and hell of a day 1 and 2 for the Chicago Bears.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. Can I read you? I'm going to read you a little short blurb about him. Right. And I think this will make your grade make sense. Okay. Turner is an effective hand fighter, and he makes it tough for blockers to get into his frame rushing the passer. He's a disruptive run defender who slips blocks, locates the ball, and makes plays in the backfield. Turner splits double teams well. He is strong enough to stack and shed blockers when his technique is sound. He, on ESPN, was the 6th best defensive tackle, and we saw 4 of them go in the first round.
Yeah.
3 or 4 go in the first round. So good second round talent. You got him on the back half end. We saw what we did. Javon was an earlier second, but you saw what Javon kind of turned into. He's definitely developed into a solid pick, I would say so. Definitely had, I'd say, a breakout, not like all pro season, but definitely where you're starting to see some of the skills that you drafted him for. Hopefully you can see that in 2 years with Shamar Turner. So I'm going to I'll probably go a B+, but I am walking away from this draft. Actually, I'll go A- because of the process, because this wasn't even our pick. So you do a trade back and still able to pick up a quality, hopefully.
That's what I was saying. The way they accumulated those picks after taking Luther Burden at 39, that was a shocker, but an elite pick, in my opinion. Like that is, you're just leaving no doubt. We talked about it earlier in the pod about what you are wanting to accomplish next year, which is to score points, to make sure that Caleb Williams takes that leap, if not ascends into that, top echelon of franchise quarterbacks in this league. Right. They are leaving no doubt. And Ben Johnson, I love you are seeing his influence all over this draft, not 100%. Even just the offseason, but now the draft. And it is really, really cool to see. I'm excited. And I think the entire process, like polls, we've gone back and forth on polls, but for the most part, I believe we have been very, very, we've liked his approach as a GM. We think he gets a little bit too much heat on some things because he's made some insane deals, right? We just talked about the Bryce Young trade finalized today because Luther Burden was that final pick, that second rounder from Carolina. I think polls, he has his misses, right? I'm not going to go through them.
Of course.
But at the same time, his process, you saw Ryan Pace just traded up with Atlanta to go land what's his face?
The
edge rusher.
Yeah.
And they gave up a first round pick.
James Pierce Jr.
Yeah.
With the all-field.
But Poles, in my opinion, although we saw it last year where he wanted to move up for Rome, he is impatient. Shout out to Ian Cunningham and the team that he has around him. And now Ben Johnson. And I love that Poles is really just he's allowing Ben Johnson to share that influence and that vision, because this is his team after all. Of course, Poles is the GM and he's in charge and he's going to take the blame if stuff goes wrong. But to allow or to be in such good communication with their already new head coach, he's been here, 3 months? I just like the collaboration. I know we hate that word, but right now between those two of the most important people in this franchise outside of Caleb Williams, right? So I like it. I love where we're going. The Bears are going to score points, and that is a fact. Like they should not be. This is not your same old Bears, in my opinion, because there's just no way. Even if Caleb Williams is feeling as Mitch Trubisky, we saw what he did against, in 2018 when he had all these weapons and a really good defense. Of course, the defense carried him, but this is crazy. The weapons are, weapons on weapons, and I love it. It's kind of diabolical. It's kind of, it's almost not, I'm not going to say unfair, but it is like, to add what they did in those first two picks is just
crazy.
I would never have thought the Bears would do something like that. So
yeah,
super excited, man.
And you know what? It may not be over. There's a good comment here from Alex that I feel trade up for Caleb coming. It could. You don't know. They traded up to the fourth they traded up last year. It could happen. And then comment here from Reggie Matt. This is actually funny because the jersey I'm wearing is the Caleb Williams 13 jersey. The one, the non-real one, before we found out he was going to be 18. So there's that. So that's funny. I love wearing the number he'll never have.
One of one.
The one of one there. So yeah, let's before we go out here, let's go ahead and give our shout outs here. Any final comments, make sure you guys drop them in here. We'll cue up the music here, but we do have some new face in here. Manny, first off, active as hell in the chat. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much on Twitter. If you want to like and subscribe to YouTube, that'd be great. Get notifications about when we're going live so you don't miss a game. But thank you so much for joining. We appreciate that. New face to the podcast. Love that. We got Reggie Matt from Facebook with a hashtag OG. Appreciate that. We stream everywhere, so we love to have you guys watch on whatever platform is best for you. So appreciate that, Reggie. Plastic Rock is just with a thank you here. I know he's an OG, but he said appreciate y'all. Appreciate that, Plastic. And with the hashtag OG and fuck Green Bay. Absolutely. Alex Hampton with the hashtag OG. Extend Kyle Tucker. Yes, absolutely. Should have done that yesterday. Let's make the city of Chicago explode. Anyways, A+ draft by polls. Love that. We got our hashtag OG and Grizzly member. Alex was as well, but Hall of Fame Grizzly, hashtag let's fucking go, hashtag bear down, hashtag fuck Green Bay. Appreciate that. Michael from across the pond. Bro, it's probably like 2 a.m. there. So dedication, bro. And we still have a whole nother round. So appreciate that. Gage here with the hashtag OG, who's also a Hall of Fame Grizzly member, and hashtag new offensive Bears. Then we got hit. Oh, shit. Oh, I love that. Hits happens. Hashtag new face gang on Twitter. Great show. Thanks for doing it. Thank you so much. If you want to watch more of our shows, we do this in the off season once every week. unless there's breaking news, will pop up on here as well. And during the regular season, we do a pregame show and a postgame show live. So we're definitely tons of shows, tons of content popping out. So if you want to give us a follow, we appreciate that, so you can stay up to date of what we got coming on. And then I talked about that, Reggie, there. Let's see if there's any more that came in. Oh, Manny said I will. I'm on YouTube a lot. Really do appreciate that. Again, if you want to watch on Twitter, we appreciate that as well. Wherever you want to watch is fine. But if you want to make sure you get notifications, I know it's a little bit easier from YouTube. Oh, and then Alex is funny. Did you just mention the hits principle? Hits happen. That's funny. I think it's supposed to be like shit happens without saying it, but get the hits out of here. We don't want any of that. We're done with that era. We're done with it. Moving on to a new era here. So again, thank y'all for joining and watching. This was fantastic. Any final words, Dave?
Nope. Hit that like button, subscribe. We appreciate y'all. Back-to-back episodes for you, 2 hours plus yesterday and of course today. And we'll be back, like Ficky said, next week to talk more Bears. So we appreciate y'all, and I hope you enjoyed the draft like we did. So bear down.
Peace.